something, 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 and a something, something else too, but they're cozy. Hey everyone, it is 372 pages. We'll never get back. We have entered the cozy season. I think you could probably figure that out if you're watching video.
Oh, we're doing a cozy podcast today. I didn't realize.
Oh, it's just
going about normal.
Does anyone wear that as a utility hat? Connor has a, for those just listening, that is a... Chris, I believe Mr. Pringle made it famous.
Yes. The last plumber we had to come by had a Santa hat on. It was July, massive crack exposure as he was over there. He was, turned out no license, not a plumber. He shoved a bunch of taffy into our pipes. We didn't even call the plumber, so it was weird that he was there in the first place. But
were his ears pointed at the top? Maybe there was a reason. Anyway, this is 372 pages. We'll never get back. On Mike Nelson. That's Connor Listoka. We are reading. It's cozy season, so we're reading. I have it labeled here on my notes as Cozy Owl Book, but I believe the title is Owl Be Home for Christmas.
Owl Be Home for Christmas by Rosie A. Point, not to be confused with several other Owl Be Home for Christmases. We wrote in about, but it's part of the Very Murder Christmas series, book 2.
Hey, can I ask a question right up front?
Yeah.
About the Cozy Book series. When did it turn into all the titles? Am I crazy, or did we have never done a title that just has like insane wordplay? But that now seems to be the absolute coin of the realm.
Well,
like if you want to have a cozy book, you have to have unbelievably garbage wordplay in your title, right?
It is the cultures of these subcultures just sort of create these self-perpetuating rules, and then I think if you don't abide by them, it's just like stone them. A very cozy stoning.
Yeah,
very
like,
cozy public
I'm
shaming.
going to give you 4.5 stars. How do you like them apples?
No, please.
No,
I spent 3 days writing this 60,000 word book. No.
But crappy wordplay it used to just be like, Christmas Town and Christmas Murder in Christmasville, right?
Yeah, well, I think the first time we read one of these was that we ended up doing The Quilter's Christmas, right? Or The Quilter's Push Back. And I think that we went through a list of like 25 books and tried to guess which ones were real. And it was, a lot of them were the puns. But then I think we read Christmas Valley, the one with cinnamon, and that didn't have one either. But I think that's what's filling out most of these titles, is just the pun wordplay, laying claim to a pun, and then crossing it off the list.
Well, not a fan, but I mean, love the books.
Sure.
What do you say?
Well, yeah, they're Hallmark movie in amateur form, I would guess, with no visuals. And the Hallmark movies, I think, do a lot of heavy lifting for these because they're just sort of like, You've seen this before. You've seen the hot cop, and you've seen the girl who can't get her act together, even though she probably would be pretty attractive if she just ran a comb through her hair once in a while.
Hot cop. Hey, no spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. It could. I don't know. It could be a hot bailiff or a hot judge.
The hot guy who eats really cozy grilled cheese every day at your bakery / restaurant cafe.
He puts away a grilled cheese every day, double order of home fries, super slab of bacon. Then he walks out just casually stretching to reveal his 12-pack abs on the way. How does he do that? I got to go sit in the cop car and make sure no one parks illegally outside the, loading dock. But so yeah, I got 300 steps a day, and it's all walking into the diner. God, am I hot?
Oh, so handsome. Anyway, so yeah, do you have, how cozy would you say you are? Before we start, I want to make sure we're all cozy.
Well, there's the cozy season giveth and the cozy season taketh. We had a scheme to get just super cozy in our house.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as cold as you, but it gets cold. And so we thought we would get a little sauna in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Super cozy. Just be down there, be podcasting out of there. It arrived last week.
Yeah.
We were super excited. We had the guy was going to come out, a real electrician, not a Santa Claus one with taffy, was going to come out the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And the back panel of it made it a third of the way down our stairs before it became wedged. And There was words exchanged. There was, turn it this way. Put that way. Before we realized that our basement has sort of a low ceiling. I sort of sometimes have to be like that to get past like a ductwork that's down. And it became very clear that it was not going to fit. And so this morning, in the coziest act possible, we packaged that up in our driveway before sunrise in like 25 degrees for some guys to come and pick up, probably while we're recording this. So that was not the coziest thing to possibly do. And
so who was the first person to, I'm sure you had someone over to consult, who was the first person to shake their head with like, I don't know what we're planning on. Do you know how to run a tape measure? 'Cause,
our neighbor is a structural engineer and supervises major projects, like in addition to the Wolf Trap National Park in the area. And he was like, well, here's some things you could do. You could start cutting a hole in the staircase drywall this way, take down these things. They're not actually, these beams aren't supporting anything, so you could do that. Or you could cut a hole in the wood flooring and sort of slide it down through there. Or you could cut it in half, stitch it back up. And I'm like, you're looking at a guy who didn't measure this before he ordered it. And you're saying, just cut some holes in your drywall and move these beams, drag these cables out of the way. It's like, no, we're sending it back. We're gonna... And he's like, I'll help you. And it's like, I'm not putting any holes in the walls to accommodate this idiotic whim that we had.
It'll just take 2 weeks to cut the holes and then 14 weeks to get the guy out to repair it.
By mid-July, you'll have that sauna up and running. So that's the low point of the cozy season.
Wow,
what about you?
There is a fresh. I wish this were, I could do a video thing here, but there's a fresh layer of crisp snow on the ground, like a lot of it.
Wow.
And I woke up and the elves had shoveled we have a service. The elves had shoveled my front walk, but I had to we have a deck out back that is all our responsibility, so I had to do that. And I was like, there's like 2 feet of snow. And my beloved cozy wife, who was wearing a hat much like yours, was like, just shovel me a path out. I'm like, what do you need a path out?
And shut the damn door while you're doing it. I'm trying to stay warm in here.
There's like 2 feet of snow. Like, I need a path. What for? I don't know. I just feel like one. So
maybe I want to take up smoking and go out there.
So I was doing that. That was the coziness of 2 people lightly bickering over shoveling the back deck.
Cozy curses under your breath.
Yeah.
You get inside, you drained the coffee pot. All right, so our coziness is at, our predicament lacks its usual cheer, as Santa once said. I think this might turn it around for everybody listening. Well, I'll post this in the comments so everyone can see it, not just the video people. But here we go. This will bring the cozy back up to freshly baked gingerbread. Here is Ein the corgi, and what is it doing?
Wow, licking, I assume that's yogurt.
Yes.
Yogurt from a spoon.
From the back of a spoon.
Wow, that looks so much like my son's corgi that it's, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's listener Janelle and Andrew's corgi Ein licking yogurt off the back of a spoon. So that should make your heart go 3 sizes this season.
Oh, let's go solve crimes together. You licking yogurt off the back of a spoon and barking the solution to the mysteries.
Yeah, perfect. Well, yeah, so that doesn't put you in the mood to read I'll Be Home for Christmas by Rosie A. Point. I don't think anything will. Let's get started.
All right. You can stop sharing because we're seeing your desktop.
Oh, dear. I thought I would close the window.
No, I see the call for the electrician there.
Yep. You see, FanDuel player check. That's cozy.
Yes, I Will Be Home for Christmas. Rosie A. Point, which you, I think yesterday pointed out to me, is a real human being? I mean, the name is obviously not a real human being, but the person is real. I mean, we don't do any AI, so I assumed they were real. And yet when you sort of see the person, like, hello, I'm Rosie A. Point. You're like, come on, you're supposed to hide behind the nom de plume.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the name of your protagonist here.
Yes. But she's real, and she's written a series, and this is one in the series.
Yeah, it's two in the series. So there is some stuff here that happens that I think you'll need to probably have familiarity with the first book, Dachshund Through the Snow.
Yes.
Which, and I actually looked that up. One of the guys that wrote one of the other books we considered in the Cozy Buffet, he wrote the one about the building explosion that killed 7 people. He also had a book called Dachshund Through the Snow. So it's a weird little, like, I guess you really can't lay claim to this, just sort of like the Replacements also had an album called Let It Be. Who knows?
You can't copyright a title, as they say. Yeah. But if you write, like Great Expectations, you're going to probably expect some pushback. But if you write Dachshund Through the Snow, I think you're fine. All right. So this is the second in the series. She does reference that she's met some of the characters before. Yeah. Spoiler alert, the handsome cop she might have met before. We don't know.
All right, so here's how it starts. It sort of gives you a little head shake twist right off the bat. She's writing to her diary. It's amazing what murder does to a town and its people. All of a sudden, everyone's suspicious, walking in groups or ignoring old friends. The trouble this time around is that nobody's acting that way because nobody believes the death was actually murder. You've set up your premise and then negated it in the first 3 sentences. Bravo.
But the trouble with all of it, yes, except that's not happening, so forget it.
Off to a good start. And so this is our protagonist, Holly.
Yes, this is
Holly. Holly was a hood rat, yep.
Writing to herself. And then she ends the thing with how it all started. It was very short, the diary entry. I don't know, is this helping her when she reads it later? She's going to go like, what is this about? What am I saying? Anyway, she says, Dear Diary, it all started with an owl and a Christmas cake and cherries.
Yeah.
So just ticking off cozy things. And it's kind of like that moment in Stephen King where she kidnaps the writer. What a misery.
Oh, sure.
And then she's ramming the book, or he's ramming the burnt book pages down her throat and going, eat it, you... That's what I feel she's already doing. Like, you want coziness? Here you go. I said could have added yogurt. Thank you, listener. Big sweater, fuzzy hat, which
a thumb sent through the mail to taunt the detectives, saying there'll be more of these.
Cozy.
I like that.
But yeah, just she overloads it right away. I thought that was nice. Like,
there's a There's a video that I'm quite familiar with of a guy who was doing a sort of ESPN breakdown of how the hot dog eating contest works on the 4th of July. So he's got a transparent model of his stomach. It's revolting, and he's showing you the hot dog sort of mixture slurry, and he's got like a little like thing to like ram it down the fake esophagus into this distended stomach, and like he gets 72 hot dogs in there, and it's just by like forcing it. And so that's what you're describing here with the coziness.
Bloated up with cocoa and candy canes.
The cozy trough.
Eat it.
So chapter 1 says that she is residing in Full Fork, New York. And we pointed out that Rosier Point is a South African woman writing this, so we were hoping for some little misunderstanding of the regions. Like, I went to Full Fork and got one of their famous cheesesteaks that the region is known for, or
yes,
their famous chili that never has beans in it, because that's not the Full Fork way. I don't know that we really got a lot of those. She seems to understand the assignment here in terms of...
She doesn't really go off the rails here. There's no chili with cinnamon in it served over spaghetti here. This is straight down the line coziness, so she gets that.
Our heroine is going to a residence to dog walking job. The resident's name is Mrs. Pringle. So I thought she might be the wife of Julius Pringles, the Pringles mascot. Did you know that was his first name?
I did not. I mean, if Charles Entertainment Cheese, I know right off the top of my head, but I didn't know that Mr. Pringles, he has a fine mustache, though.
Very much so. It's one of those things where... Right in like 2006, some idiots like I would have done, edited the Wikipedia page to say that his name was Julius, and it just got sort of repeated enough that the company added it to the official lore like 10 years later. Yeah, it's great.
No way.
It's like what I did. I made up a story about inventing the high five, and sort of this exact same thing happened, and we were forced to go public and admit that it was not true in an ESPN article one time.
You got busted, right?
Yeah, but that ours was treated as if we'd committed a war crime and should be tried at the Hague. The guys who added Julius to Pringles are just like, oh, these lovable scamps.
I would just point out, I think before this, we get knitting right away, which is not, I mean, it's secondary mention of it, but it's not, it's knitting, but I think that's cozy enough, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to quilting. I mean, quilting.
Oh.
But I released Dixie from her harness, clipped on her lead, then readjusted my comfy, Christmas-styled knit beanie, Ma's work, of course. So there's off-screen knitting there. And tugged on my matching knit gloves. Are we not cozy? Are you not cozy?
Are you not cozy? The Emperor's like, thumbs up to the coziness. No more must die today. Yeah, I have a theory later on about some of these things. I'll get to it maybe when we get to the pet cafe about the occasional mentions of these things. But I thought that Christmas-styled knit beanie was just sort of like, you hogs can imagine that, right? I'm not going to elaborate on what color it is or what that means, if it's a Christmas tree or if it's a snowflake design or Santa hat, but it's just Christmassy.
Christmas-styled. That's all you're going to get. Rosie A. Point ain't going to describe it any more than that.
And so even cozier is that she's wearing her own Christmas-styled knit beanie. Ma has knitted her, of course, matching knit gloves. Her dachshund, Dixie, so you've got the novelty dog, Ma had knitted her a Christmas jacket that matched my beanie, red with snowflakes, and she looked utterly adorable. And the thing about Dixie is she had to stay at Ma's house because of the rules of my apartment. Mr. Sharnick would have 2 cows, a kitten, and 5 baby chicks if he found out I'd let Dixie stay there. So there's a weird arrangement where her apartment does not permit overnight dogs in the what's going on. She couldn't have it there with her overnight, but she still gets to see her every day.
That I thought was very odd. Why do you have a novelty dog that does not get to stay with you? Why don't you just have a cozy apartment? And then there's off-screen Mr. Sharnick, and then the analogy, instead of just having Bart Simpson come on and go, don't have a cow, then, Mr. Sharnick would have 2 cows, a kitten, and 5 baby chicks. And is that supposed to be a laugh line? Because we're talking about not having pets, but
yeah,
it didn't land with me.
Could be a South Africanism, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
South African. That's my impression of South African. Thank you.
So I thought that could have been a South African, like, oh, maybe this is a thing in our apartments where you have a dogs only during the day type of thing. I think what happened is I went back and looked at the summary of Dachshund Through the Snow. You sort of have to mispronounce. And I think she goes to walk this dog. The owner is dead. And so she adopts the dog so no one will do it. So she adopted the dog knowing that she couldn't bring it back to her apartment during the night. So her mom takes care of it because what are you going to do? Like let this dog stay there and devour its dead owner? I don't think so.
Oh, Marie, whatever style. What's the song about the woman getting eaten by it's a Nick Lowe song. Anyway, I am who among the two of us has had an adorable dachshund and owned it? Who brought one home for their children at Christmas? And put it in that would be me, of course.
Yeah, how did that work out? That's sort of a
dachshund.
It's one of those things from before I knew you.
Yeah,
that just has never jived with the person I know. Of just you being like, now we've got a dachshund.
Well, it came about because my kids just like the relentless, like, Dad, can we have a dog? Dad, can we have a dog? Dad, in the sun setting. Dad, can we have a dog?
Yeah. So
I finally relent, like sending paper airplanes into my ear with like, can I please have a dog? Like, all right. So I look it up and like with our land and everything, you got to have a dog with short legs because it can only go around, right? Otherwise they need to run. We don't have room to run. So it's like, okay, here's what you should get, a dachshund. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, so we got a dachshund. It was a terrible dog. It would just like void its bowels and urinary tract, just upon seeing certain people, only certain people. And it attached to Bridget and no one else.
Wow, nice.
My youngest son, it would jump up on his bed and poop on his bed. Anyway, here's the big upshot of it all is that someone told me once, I think it was the owner, he's like, dachshunds, you know what they were for? They would burrow into the ground and get badgers. But dachshund is a badger hound.
Yeah.
And so they would clamp onto it, and then you'd pick them up by the tail. I'm like, dachshunds are so fragile, like, they're so long. And he's like, no, you pick them up by the tail, they're happy as a clam. I'm like, well. Woo! I pick up this dachshund, and it's just like sitting there like, this is how I like my life. And from then on, I was kind of a fan of the dog. I would just say, hey, Dodger. And I'd pick it up. People would be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, look at how happy this dog is.
It seems like you're holding like a string of wieners or something. The family's hungry and it sees the dog as that when you finally get to them.
Anyway, okay. So I had an adorable dachshund.
All right. So yeah, you're relatable. This is pulling the cozy heartstrings.
Yes, indeed.
And so she's going here to walk a dog. She brings her dog with her to do that. And she's at Mrs. Pringle's house. Mm-hmm. And Mrs. Pringle is a wealthy eccentric, and the maid lets her in. Into the sitting room, the walnut and port room upstairs.
Yes, she. By the way, she has. I think this is a big sideswipe on churches out of nowhere.
Okay,
that I thought was a little strange. She pulls up to it with her adorable dog wearing matching adorable sweaters, and says, "Sort of reminded me of a church or a haunted castle, but it was Christmas, so I'd stick with the church." Take that, churches. You look like haunted castles. I'll be charitable and say.
Yeah, sure. Had it been February, she would have gone with the haunted castle comparison and ease her worried mind.
October? Haunted church. Haunted castle.
Mrs. Pringle is up in her sitting room eating a plate of Christmas cake on her lap. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish it had been the Christmas Crunch, the Captain Crunch with the red and green crunch berries. Alas. Mm-hmm. Christmas cake is also not elaborated on. You're left to fill in the blanks with what that means. Christmas cookies are the more traditional, I would say, type of thing. You can picture the tree shape, the sugar cookie, all that type of thing.
Yeah, but Christmas. Do you ever get a plate of Christmas cookies from someone?
Sure. Yeah.
There are many different styles of.
Oh yeah, you can't just say.
So saying Christmas cookie, which is a big plot point, so it's, spoiler. Let's save that.
Yes. Well, what this cake looks like is a major point of contention for me. So the fact that it's left unelaborated on is fine right here, because I have a lot of questions as we keep going.
There is a traditional Christmas cake, right? And it's like a bundt cake, but it's more like bread.
Oh, sure. The Panettone. Yeah. One of them is the paint company, but
Panettone.
That comes in the box with the ribbon, and I always just wonder who is buying these, because I feel like I've had them before and they're not good. But
no, it's like you could easily put some ham in the middle of it and just cheese and toast it up.
Call it a sandwich.
This is much better as bread. But that's a tradition. I believe that is a Christmas cake.
Oh man,
we got in the gâteau style of a cake, but like that's I guess if you're British, like, is there a lot of suet in it? Then I'll eat it.
Mrs. Pringle says, "You're early. That's wonderful." And to me that sounded like a Jimmy Lee Glick line read. So that's sort of how I imagined her talking the rest of the thing. "You're early. That's wonderful.
Wonderful. I came very early. I hope that's okay."
The maid offers them refreshments, to which I imagined Holly is like, "Look, I'm a professional dog walker. I've got to make 27 other jobs today in order to pay rent with this job. So no, I will not stick around for refreshments before I walk your dog." But Mrs. Pringle says, like, what did she say? "Merry Christmas." She sits down. "Dixie lay on the floor of my feet and rested her snout on her paws, watching with interest." And I thought that, like, Dixie is not watching with interest. Dixie is imagining rolling around in a dead possum. That is what Dixie is doing. Like, man, if that possum's still there on our walk today, I'm going to roll the hell out of it.
Get so much stink on my coat, you're not even going to believe it. And then she describes Mrs. Pringle, because she's, she's like, hello, come in, have some coffee. She's clearly Mrs. Doubtfire up until the moment that she is described.
Yeah.
Here we go. She was an interesting-looking woman. Now, if you live in Minnesota, that is not a good thing.
Sure, that's a passive-aggressive.
Yeah. In her 60s, maybe, pardon me, with 2 purple-blue pigtails sprouting from her head. She wore purple lipstick and had paired it with a yellow blouse. So she's just a fully employed clown.
What? Yeah. Harley Quinn, maybe? Like just a sort of elderly goth clown? Distressing. Quite distressing.
When she asked, you want to know how I got these scars? I'm like, who is Mrs. Pringle?
You clearly killed the woman in Dachshund for the snow. That was you. And so then it goes on. She's so distracted by this odd-looking woman, this Dr. Seussian creature that's sitting there. I'd be so intrigued by Mrs. Pringle that I hadn't noticed the other occupant of the room, an owl, a gorgeous white snowy owl in a massive enclosure that spanned the entirety of the right wall. So that's how distracting Mrs. Pringle is. You could walk into a room, not notice a owl enclosure that's massive enough it takes up a whole wall because this woman is sitting there being like...
riding around in a tiny car. Yeah, to not look at a wall, like walk into a room and then look at the floor, go around, look at this wall over there, look at the ceiling, and then come around and like, oh, I didn't notice the entire wall. That is a difficult thing to do, but she did it. Yeah. Too distracted.
I hadn't noticed the man chained to the wall and being lashed by a dungeon master as I entered the room because I was so distracted by Mrs. Pringle.
Oh, right away before you get to it, because I know you would do it to me, a sonic challenge for you.
Oh, God. All right.
Yes. Oh no. Mrs. Pringle laughed like that was the funniest thing she'd ever heard.
Oh, okay. And the setup to that is... But Mrs. Pringle, I thought Olenteen was a dog like Dixie. All right.
Yep.
All right. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Olenteen a dog? Oh, no, he's an owl. And he's getting on in the years. So that's why I called you here today. Whoa, I'm lightheaded from that.
Oh, thank you so much. That's what I wanted.
Whew.
That was what I was looking for.
You feel that one in your core. That if you're throwing your head back to laugh like that, that's, man, I'm going to look like that hot cop by the end of this.
Yes, you don't need to do your crunches for today.
Well, in between laughing like it's the funniest thing in the world, Mrs. Pringle keeps either rubbing her throat or coughing, and then at some point in time, she says, I've never walked an owl before, Mrs. Pringle. But Mrs. Pringle didn't reply. She rose to her feet, grasping at her throat desperately. She made an awful rattling wheeze, then pointed at the plate of cake on the coffee table. And then she goes white, her eyes roll back, and she drops dead onto the floor of the living room.
Unfortunately, the laugh didn't go right into the death, which would have been, that's one of my favorite things. Last Man on Earth style, like switching from laughter to weeping, or in this case, laughing to dying would have been great. Faint, dead.
Right. Oh.
Didn't work out that way. There was a few lines in between.
Unfortunately, yeah, they can't. If we start to see things that cater to us too much, maybe we'll know that someone has planted a false book for us just to read it and reap the riches.
Damn you, AI, making up Rosier Point.
And so, speaking of Rosier Point, she Rosier points at the cake, And that is the prevailing theory going forward, because it's all we really have here is that the cake has had something in it she was not supposed to eat. The
She does say my new client had gone white. I was like, well, yeah, she's wearing clown white makeup, clearly. So I don't understand. She hadn't gone white. She'd been white the entire time.
Clearly, she's choked on something. Her lips are purple. No, that was how she looked before she got in here. She puts on purple lipstick every morning. It's off-putting.
Imagine the guys coming in, like the EMTs or whatever, like, well, she's dead. Oh my God, what? She's clearly killed by all the accoutrements she's wearing. This is her? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how she chose to dress as she died.
Was it like they say that James Bond, who when they paint you gold, you need to leave like a patch open in the back of your back so that your skin doesn't asphyxiate. So they're like, my God, this woman, all the makeup just pancaked off her pores. She couldn't breathe. Either that, or they're just like, it's a new virus that's going through the town of Full Fork, and we need to put this town under a dome so whatever affected this woman's appearance does not get the rest of us, because this is no way to go.
Wasn't that a Prefontaine style thing where there were a bunch of TV series about doming places off, right? All of a sudden,
I remember the one that was under the dome, but I
think there are others.
I don't remember.
There are certainly lots of like viruses taking over things. It was like, geez, guys, what's on top of mind here? All right, chapter 2.
Chapter 2. So yeah, it ends with the butler or the maid running in and calling 911. Cut to May Pet Cafe, run by our hero Holly's best friend May, and she runs her own. I guess it's like a cat cafe or a dog, all pets, and presumably has a series of cozy mysteries of her own that she solves as a proprietor of one of these adorable businesses.
The Pet Cafe. So we all know, like, small town areas where, like, even if you don't live in one, you have one at your disposal. Pet cafe? Is this town keeping alive? Is this like Mayberry? Like, we need a pet cafe for today. So yes, we support a pet cafe.
Man, we have, our town it's smallish. I mean, it's not, it's not a one horse town, but there is a cat cafe that we went out to, like a little holiday market this weekend, and the cat cafe had a booth set up selling various cat related stuff. And that was the sort of thing where I'm like, we just, the taco shop closed down. They couldn't keep the lights on, but the cat cafe is now like, they're celebrating our 3rd year. It's like, how is this possible?
We are raking it in. Do they let you, is that one of those where they let you, where the cats just wander around? And you can
I've never been into it because it's like $40 for an hour with a cat and a drink, but so again, the fact that it is still running is incredible. But yeah, I think you can just, if a cat approaches you, you can hold it. And I think the cats you can bring home, adopt if you want to, but.
If you had to choose, like, this is a would you rather scenario. Yeah, we're going down that route already. A podcast with a would you rather.
Okay.
A cat cafe or a paint and sip club, and you were just trapped in one for the rest of your life. Which would you rather have?
I mean, I like cats. I had a cat for 20 years, and I've always been curious about the paint and sip, just because I'm a terrible artist, but I'm curious what I'd be interested to see what mine looked like compared to the more talented people. I'd choose, God, paint and sip, maybe, because just, I don't know, the wine aspect.
Yeah, see, my first question would be, is the wine bottomless? Then
yes.
I'd be like, I'll just stay in a slight hammered state.
I mean, the cats, we had a cat for 20 years, and if you then walk into a house of someone who owns cats, you're like, is this what our house smelled like all the time? Like, they're just litter box, notes of litter box carried in on the breeze.
So she's at the May Pet Cafe, which I had to read back and go, oh, her name is May, but May
yes.
Pet Cafe.
It's not May's Pet Cafe. It's...
but it's like May Pet Cafe.
Oh, okay.
I know. But here's the single most on-the-nose line of any book, I think, if you can find a more on-the-nose line.
Okay.
Mrs. Pringle pointed at her Christmas cake before she fell over. I bet it was poison. There is no more cozy murder mystery line in all of history. If you tried to distill it, that's what it is.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
perfect.
Pringle.
Yeah, and I was so hung up on the Julius Pringles factoid that I wanted to share that I didn't even get to the Kringle rhyming scheme there.
Just
So
imagine him like, my beloved wife. Ah, Julius on his knees, no, twirling his mustache.
The leap to poison to me was a bit of a stretch because I thought it could have just been a fruitcake she was eating.
That's
Christmas fruitcake. Someone
dense, so dry.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. Like, I'll take black jelly beans and everyone's fruitcake when they give it away. I'm like, I actually really like fruitcake.
Fruitcakes, you used to hear a lot more about them, but I guess the fruitcake jokes have kind of dried up over the years. But
I guess so. I mean, I think the thing is like when you get a cake and it weighs, and it's only as big as a loaf pan and it weighs 7 pounds, you're like, all right, I'm in for this.
And you sort of cut into it. It's been like it's January 17th, and you're like, I feel bad wasting this, so I'll try another thing, and it's still like distressingly moist inside of it. You're like, how is this possible? Like, what is this harboring inside it? Maybe it is poison. It's maybe
candied fruit leaching out its trapped moisture into the surrounding areas.
Well, yeah, fruitcake. Do not send us fruit. We'll send Mike the fruitcakes. I do not
take your black jelly beans, your fruitcake. Oh, and your coconut, Halloween candies.
Oh,
I was always the kid. Everyone would just be, you'd be on the floor sorting, and I'd be behind everyone and just like scooping up the coconut candies. Hate it. Almond Joy.
Yes.
Over the shoulder.
The most famous coconut candy, Almond Joy. There we go. Let's bury the lead with this one.
And coconut. They contain coconut.
That line though, your platonic coziness is followed by, "Come on, Holly, you're getting ahead of yourself." May sat back, drawing a peppermint cane through her mug of hot chocolate,
yes.
which I think there's a chance if you watch how these stack up that she read a similar How to Write Cozy Mystery book that Sussy read 2 years ago. That was like every 250 words, have your character do something that calls attention to the fact that it's Christmas, be it sipping hot chocolate, hanging a candy cane on the tree, or drawing a candy cane through your hot chocolate.
I read that line to Bridget. She was working, and she was like in, mid. She's like, hang on. I'm like, hey, I'm reading this cozy mystery. Can I give you this line? She's like, okay, go ahead. And I read it, and she was like, the 1,000-yard stare. The lids drop slightly. Like, get out of my room.
Go shovel the damn deck.
Understood.
But it's like if you ever watch sort of improv level 3, they're like, you can't just be sitting there having a conversation as two talking heads. You got to be doing something while you're doing it. So they're like, you should either be chopping vegetables as you're like, hey, I noticed that there's a hippo in the lobby, and you're like chopping vegetables and moving to the side, or they're unloading a dishwasher, being like, well, I noticed that your pickup truck, there's a hippo in the passenger seats. Like, let me just put this back in here, and so
full fork.
You got to remind people.
Yes. Okay, poison. Oh, candy cane through. Yes, I had that. This. She then describes. So now we get on with sort of plot elements, I think. She talks about her sisters or sister-in-laws. I can't.
Her two sisters.
Okay.
It's 6 days till Christmas, and you're distressed because it's 6 days till Christmas, and your sisters are visiting.
Yes. And she says one of them is a successful genetic conservationist who got to travel the world. And I did not look it up. I don't know. Do you know what a genetic conservationist is?
I do not.
And why you get to travel the world to do it?
I highlighted it, but I didn't bother to look it up. Maybe we have a listener who is one.
I was going to say, that's why I'm not going to look it up, because someone's going to go like, duh, you idiot. There are many things I look up and then I go like, oh, that's a thing. I didn't know that. That could be a thing. I've just never heard of it.
I mean, the first result says that they use DNA analysis and genomic data to understand, preserve, and manage genetic diversity within endangered or threatened species. Okay, it sounds like it's an animal thing. I was like, managing genetic diversity? South Africa. This is, it's slipping.
When's the last time we tried that?
Wow. All right, but it seems like it could be a traveling the world because there's a new species of beetle that they discovered.
Oh, so it's animal-based.
It sounds like that's
we get
the
a
more charitable
on
interpretation.
Animals coming up, so you'll be pleased with that.
So that's her one sister, Jamie, who's a successful genetic conservationist. Victoria was beautiful, married with kids, with a perfect life in the city. So that's the two types of successful woman in this: the hot stay-at-home mom and the big city woman, and then the successful career woman. Often, those are combined into one character in a Hallmark movie: the big city woman with the successful career. And so I guess you're divvying that up for this book.
That's true, and it's the handsome guy is usually some sort of dumbass, right? Who's like, I'm successful, so you have to like me. But then he ends up with the other.
Oh, she ends up with the blue collar guy back home, whether that's law enforcement
for sure.
or
Like the one who tows
coach,
the truck
probably.
out of the after she loses her memory and falls into a ditch or whatever.
But Victoria's kids were adorable, but a total riot in the actual riot sense, not the fun way. So they're like looting stores for diapers and dragging truck drivers out of their trucks and stomping them in the street. They burnt down the Full Fork police station last time they were here. It's really the actual rioting.
Throwing microwaves through picture windows.
They're on the roof with a shotgun blasting the genetic people they don't want to conserve.
The kids. It doesn't say two kids.
Yeah, it sounds like they were old enough that they're running around. So
we figure out. But here we go. I have a question about this. I'm sure you have questions as well. I know that your fiance was the male equivalent of 2-day-old dog doo-doo, but you've got to move on with your life. Does it get worse as it ages? That's my first question. I know I have a lot of questions, but that was my first one.
At some point in time, it gets to be like the sort of dried out white. Like you poke it and it sort of like blows away in the wind, but that takes more than just 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days seems like that's just basic aging, slightly dry. Yeah. He's the male equivalent of it. So that's the other question. Like, is there a female? Like, if it was a female, would it be something other than dog doo-doo? I don't know.
Yeah, dog doo-doo licking yogurt off the back of a spoon if it's female with the blanket wrapped around it. I'm not sure. I just imagine Dixie's mouth being like 2-day-old dog doo-doo. Like she starts like slobbering and, drooling like a Pavlov. Ooh, I'd eat that. Like,
after vomit, that's my second favorite thing.
Yeah. This is a cat cafe, right, May? Are there litter boxes I can sneak off to and sort of, treat as a buffet? So she has a fiance. We must have learned about that in the other book, and also in this conversation with May, she also dumps the fact that the other body she discovered, dachshund through the snow, happened earlier this month. So this is the second dead body that she's witnessed this month, which is it's traumatic. I would say you start to wonder if you're cursed or something.
Yeah, you're getting to that. What was her name? Jessica, whatever the woman who went to a house party, the famous TV show with the
Jessica Fletcher.
Fletcher, that's it. Yeah, that's a very cozy name too, Jessica Fletcher. And then here's one of the coziest sentence fragments you'll ever read, because she says, "I took a bite of my Christmas cookie." This is at least in my version, unless it's a typo. Period. Right.
Yep.
And here comes the fragment. A vanilla-flavored cookie covered in sugary icing and chewy pieces of peppermint candy. And that's it. Period.
Sure, that's a sentence. There you go. There's your bit of stage business to remind everybody that it's cozy as hell.
That's a full sentence, so I'm going to ignore the sentence before it and just take that on its own. But that is a classic, right? That would be circled in red pen, and it would be like sentence fragment. Please rewrite.
Right. Or comma, or I took a bite of the vanilla flavored cookie I had. It was delicious. Covered in there's many ways to realize
semicolon. All right. Anyway, it's a fragment.
But that delicious bite of Christmas cookie, and presumably looking upwards and rolling your eyes in Harry Met Sally pleasure, is interrupted by a tall, dark-haired, broody detective entering the May Pet Cafe.
How do you brood while you open a door? I should have given that to you as a challenge.
Damn, yeah, that would have been. That's all I could do on stage is chop vegetables. I'm not up to that level of method acting.
I mean, that is tough, right?
Yeah, maybe he's already soliloquying like Hamlet as he walks in the door. That was pretty broody. He's holding Yorick's skull.
Yeah, they say that like Richard Burton's first time on stage, he had a small part and he was in the background like sweeping, and people couldn't take their eyes off. Maybe it's like that.
His improv partners are like, Richard, stop putting away dishes back there. We've got to focus on this scene at hand. But then as he enters, Holly says, "Speaking of butts," I muttered. But it's not in the like, check out that, you could bounce a quarter off those jeans. She's like, he's a butt, like a butt head.
Yeah, yeah. we have doo-doo and butts, the two men that we've so far. Well, I guess Mr. Pringle. No, he hasn't appeared yet.
No,
Julius Pringle has not appeared
yet. His existence is not mentioned yet, but. She says, "Oh, come on. He's apologized for all that stuff he did to you in high school." So there's backstory. We get more of the backstory later. But she says, "Darn, he is handsome. And that's what makes him so terribly dangerous."
I did not understand that line.
I mean,
there's dangerous.
There is someone dangerous in this town. It's the person who's murdered the two people you've discovered this month. I don't think it's the sort of hot Detective Stokes.
I was trying to think, like, who's conventional, like the sexiest man alive? Who won last year?
I wish I had the answer.
Would you think that they were dangerous because of it?
I think that Paul Rudd was one of the last couples, so think about him. That's pretty much who they're...
That guy. He'll cut you, man.
Yeah, Richard Gere. I mean, Nolte, probably. The one you have right behind you right now is probably the most dangerous one ever.
Yes.
He gives you the wrong pill, and you wake up on a barge to the Falkland Islands.
I knew that was going to happen, Captain. I sent you there on purpose.
This one will put you on roller skates or a barge to the Falklands, either one. Detective asks if they can have a minute with her, and she says, "Good, I've been hoping to catch up with you." We stepped away from the queue at the back counter where May's servers were hard at work fulfilling orders for takeout. So this place is just absolutely slammed. The Cat Cafe is where people are placing takeout orders.
Yes.
It's not just a place you go to sit and pet a cat if you're not allowed to have one in your apartment building. Only at night. You could have one during the day, then you have to go to the Cat Cafe for the dinner shift.
So then you get the street tacos and you're just like picking cat hair out of it. I'm glad we keep ordering from this place, honey. Yeah, it's great.
It reminded me of the business in the Elton John song Leave On, where it's like, Leave On sells cartoon balloons in town. His family business thrives. It does?
It does.
A thriving business selling cartoon balloons in the town square? Like, I don't think you're going to be putting Leave On through college. Or Jesus, you're not going to be even afford his school education with this. But May also has a thriving business. She should sell cartoon balloons as well. That might really put her into Fortune 500.
So she pulls aside this handsome, clearly dangerous. He's right as he's talking to her. He's got a chiseled jaw, but he's also using a flick knife, and he's just like, and then he's putting his hand down and doing the chicken, the whatever.
Yeah,
his hand,
mumbly peg.
Yeah, this guy is dangerous. But he says that's because she had an allergic reaction to the Christmas cake. There were cherries in it, and Mrs. Pringle was deathly allergic, unfortunately. Now, this becomes the plot, but as I was reading it, I'm just like, who eats something not knowing whether the thing... You know, Christmas cakes conventionally have bits of cherry in them. I, however, will die if even 1 gram of cherry touches my lips. But what the hell? In for a penny, in for a pound.
What am I going to do? Not eat Christmas cake at Christmas? Deathly.
When I worked at a restaurant, people would go, I'm deathly allergic to something, and I would go, and they'd say, so is that in there? And I go, yes. Even though it's not. But I'm not going to.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You're asking me? You're trusting
Yeah.
I'm getting paid less than minimum wage.
The last thing I need is to be the subject of a cozy murder investigation if you eat this and die.
Was there a bit of pistachio in this? I guess. I don't know.
TG Die Fridays. Yes. We knew it was the waiter.
Anyway,
he was mining it for his burgeoning stand-up career. He needed material desperately, and a dead dowager falling into her blue margarita was the ultimate price to pay.
You've been there. Okay.
But yeah, he says, so it's been ruled an accident, and we'll get to why there were cherries in here. Yes. And he says, hey, like, from the preliminary findings, there's nothing more to look at. I appreciate your concern, but this is really none of your business. And he keeps on saying, the cook made it, but she's got no motive for murder as far as anyone can tell, and she wasn't even there that morning. The most she can be charged with is manslaughter. Okay, would the grieving relatives and family appreciate that? But we're not going to charge her with that. That's
look, the most we're going to let it slide. Like, you pull over a car in full fork, and you're like, oh, there's a guy dead in back. It looks like a chainsaw through the leg. It seems like an accident.
Yeah.
Manslaughter. I want to let it slide. You guys have a great day now. You enjoy your Christmas cake.
Manslaughter's not even a fix-it ticket in my town. It's like, the most she can be charged with is manslaughter, as if it's like that would just be a mild inconvenience to someone who's going about their day, be like, yeah, I've got to go defend this manslaughter charge. I'll meet you at lunch. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll see you back at the pet cafe.
Talk my way out of that one. So no charges, no investigation, just based on her having this deathly allergic reaction to cherries, which we both looked it up. I'm sure listeners did too. Not really one of the big dogs as far as allergies is concerned. There's some people out there that are deathly allergic. Pretty rare, but what are you going to do? It's a cozy mystery. You got to have your character die from something.
Seems extremely rare for it to be deathly allergic to it. But again, I don't have allergies, and I don't know, so I don't.
Sure. Yeah, we should just be like, no one would ever do this just to trigger the 100%. Like my dad died of a cherry allergy. You bastards! Right. I love your podcast and everything you did until you joked about this one matter.
Way to be insensitive, man. There was a guy in China who we're pretty sure died of cherries back in 1983. Like, all right, I hate you guys.
So that will not happen. No one will write to us and tell us about their personal experience with cherry allergy deaths.
No,
we move into chapter 3 after that, which just also takes place in the cherry cafe and the cat cafe, not the cherry cafe. But May even says, cherries are a really specific thing, don't you think? It's not like she had a nut allergy. There are nuts in everything nowadays. So it's not just us. Even the characters are dismissing this preposterous allergy.
Oh, I know people with nut allergies, not to be trifled with, I guess. But again, sure. I don't think they clutch their throat and fall over. But again, sure. This is just my anecdotal evidence.
I know someone with a shellfish one that probably would have clutched your throat and died over. But all it just meant was just don't serve shellfish when they come over for dinner. Easily avoidable.
Yes. Now she's at the cafe. She says, "I picked up again, following your rule every 140 characters or whatever words. I picked up my Christmas cookie and took another bite." And again, I'm like, what are Christmas? Oh, right, the sentence fragment from the last chapter describes what it is. What is it?
A vanilla flavored cookie covered in sugaring icing and chewy pieces of peppermint candy.
That is officially a Christmas cookie. If there's not a recipe at the end of this
oh my
book,
God, yeah,
I'm going to start throwing things through windows. I'm going to riot like those kids.
Yeah, I'm going to send this book back like I had to my sauna wall. That's going to be just to get another freight truck out here to pick up this piece of garbage.
We could haul in this Christmas cookie, but we're going to need to cut both walls out. Do it. Also, do it, man.
How big is this Christmas cookie? Maybe you do need a wall to remove it to have it in your house because she keeps nibbling on it. She has not finished it. Would you just finish that cookie that you're daintily nibbling on here? You have bitten it 4 times already. But then in walks Roger, the mayor's assistant. Roger loved wearing bright red ascots and gossiping like there was no tomorrow. And he is there on... Okay, here we go. He cleared his throat dramatically. The Full Fork annual Christmas Eve event has been canceled, he announced. Gasps rang out. People dropped their forks. Even the doggos went quiet.
I would like to do a reading of, because I think I know who he's supposed to be, Roger with his bright red ascot who loves gossip.
Yes.
The Full Fork annual Christmas Eve event has been canceled. I believe that's
Charles Nelson Riley has entered the cafe.
CNR has entered.
That's 100% what I thought. That's
okay.
He's gossiping like no tomorrow is a little like, well, how do we not say it but still say it?
Yes.
And so I think that's his only appearance. I guess he says Mrs. Pringle, who was heading up the organizing committee, has passed, and there's no one to fill her shoes. I'm afraid it's going to be a boring Christmas, folks. So Mrs. Pringle, they have to cancel it because she was heading up the organizing committee. It has been emphasized that it's 6 days until Christmas, so 5 days until this event. It's got to be 98% organized by this point in time, right? Certainly there are other people on this committee that could step into the thing, and the vendors who they probably have a cancellation policy, like we demand 50% up front, so you're already out that.
We can't do it without her, man. She was the capstone of this whole thing. Here's a weird sentence, though. This was just previous, so I just don't want it to go away.
Okay.
I sank lower in the booth and ate the rest of my cookie sulkily, though I hated to admit it. What did she hate to admit? That she ate the rest of her cookie, or that she ate it sulkily? Or that she sank lower in the booth? Which part of it is, or is it all of it?
She just hates to admit a lot of things. I'm a dog walker. My sister's a successful genetic conservationist. I hate. What am I doing? I hate to admit it. I've really hit rock bottom.
Didn't understand that, but yeah, I did think it was funny that he comes in and announces to everyone, so everyone's there. The people who aren't there, you'll catch up. Once you get to May's Pet Cafe later.
Yeah.
If you're one of those 2 p.m. guys, like I do most of my deliveries at noon through 2, so I'll get my cat hair omelet after that.
I think the people will just be walking down the street and they'll see someone coming the other direction walking a doggo, and the doggo will be so sort of like out of sorts that it'll be like something has distressed this doggo enough. It's not the Full Fork annual Christmas Eve event, is it? And they'll be like, it is. It's like I could tell from your doggo that it was not to be this year.
Guy tugging on his red ass. It could be. Who knows?
That's a heckin' cute doggo.
Oh God. But he's like, it's going to be a boring Christmas. So, go to hell time with family and everything, I guess.
Right.
That was what you lived for.
Right.
What a terribly dark view of Full Fork.
Right. Yeah. The fact that this is there, that means there's going to be no joy under the tree, no more caroling. I mean, there's still eggnog, people. There's still a chance to get plastered and go knock on a neighbor's doors and sing him a drunken Christmas carol.
Yeah. And then she says, I associated with Christmas, even though the festivities had been canceled. It's like the Full Fork people would have made terrible whoos down in Whoville.
Right.
Yeah. I took all your presents. Like, we don't care. That's not what Christmas is about. No, these people are like, this festival is Christmas.
It says that there's like what you do is you ride your sled, you drink eggnog and dance, and many owners would bring their dogs to indoor celebrations as well. Cut that out of the picture, and the Who's are just like, well, I don't know, let's I don't know, take these pills and ride the spaceship behind the comet. We got nothing else to live for.
Let's all eat cherries and just end it together. I'm going to pass out these mugs of cherries. Wow, yeah, that is, whew.
Yeah. And she even goes on to say that, so she says many owners would bring their dogs to indoor celebrations as well. So she's one of those people that's just like, oh, my dog is so well behaved. People are happy to see it coming into the, when I bring it into the funeral home, everyone's just thrilled to see it. Like it's like the narcissism of a dog owner like that. But then it also says fireworks were banned in Full Fork, so there was never any risk at upsetting animals when it was time for the town to celebrate. So this didn't even have any Christmas Eve fireworks. She has one of those wiener dogs that, I mean, literally, it's the wiener dog, but a wiener of a dog that can't tolerate some fireworks going off. And so yeah, this celebration sounded pretty crappy, but they're devastated at its cancellation.
I was on board for Full Fork. It was like, yeah, I'd move there, I guess. I've always kind of liked small town life, and like, we all go to the festival. Oh, that sounds cool. All right,
yeah,
good. We've by the way, we've banned all fireworks because it scares our dogs. All right, I don't like that you have the power to do that.
Yeah. How am I going to blow off my pinky this 4th of July? Come on.
Yeah. I was going to put a thing on my Uncle Sam hat and kill myself in front of my children.
The guy in the Uncle Sam hats, the mortar tube was stuffed full of cherries, and that was he couldn't even be in the same hemisphere as a cherry. It killed him.
Pointed to his own hat.
It said, the fact that it wouldn't go ahead this year is unthinkable, and all because someone had decided to get rid of Mrs. Pringle. Could it be related to the event somehow? So a theory that someone killed this woman to cancel the Christmas Eve event is quite a possibility there.
Well,
you don't throw something out like this in one of these books of 20,000 words if it's not going to pay off.
Maybe this is Encyclopedia Brown, and
sure.
There's just like a lot
Red
of
herrings.
chaff in the air that you gotta
I
clear.
suppose. Well, there was only one way I'd find out, and it wasn't by sitting on my booty in my best friend's pet cafe, sipping delicious peppermint hot chocolate.
Sitting on my booty. There's a line in Faulty Towers where an American says, like, you got to go in there and bust your staff's ass, and he just like pauses and goes, it's always bottoms with you Americans, isn't it? And I think she's like, butt, doo-doo, booty.
There we go.
What's going on here?
That's what Americans want. So then a little interstitial, she goes to check on Mrs. Pringle's husband. So they first mentioned that the woman who just died even has a husband, because all we saw was the maid the first time she went to the house.
Yeah, I assumed she was an aging dowager.
Yes,
that was
exactly.
The view that we had was like somehow her husband was an industrialist. Maybe she made the money. I don't know, but she, lived. She was rich and eccentric, and she owned an owl. And now there's a husband.
Husband, and not to mention it, another man outside the house who has hair shaved along the side, so he had a short blonde faux hawk. So it sounds like a big city guy to me. He's got eccentric haircuts and showing up here in jeans and a jacket. And
he probably took a freeway there.
X bars are just spilling out of his pockets.
Yes.
Eat one of those, you'll wind up in the Falklands. The man, she says, excuse me. The man let out a terrific roar and jumped about a foot into the air. He landed awkwardly and fell backward into the snow on his butt.
Yeah.
So possibly a meet cute, but it's not really at this point in time.
Dixie barked wildly, which had to be humiliating if you just jumped a foot in the air.
Uh-huh.
Which I don't think any longer that I have that kind of vertical leap in me. Even when surprised, I could probably get 8 inches off the ground if I'm super lucky. But then, like a dachshund in a Christmas sweater barking at you would have to be like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, right.
This is a little bit too much humiliation for
At least make it a Rottweiler if I'm going to have let out a terrific roar like that.
I just got back from the sports barber, man. I don't need this.
So they say that he is the son-in-law, Mrs. Pringle's son-in-law. She's like, I didn't know that Mrs. Pringle even had a daughter. She says, oh, yeah, so you're the dog walker, aren't you? And he knows that somehow, despite Mrs. Pringle not having a dog, that this woman who's here with her own dog would be the dog walker, quote. Anyway, doesn't really matter. But she has a logo that says OPS on the breast pocket. Unclear what that means for now. And she says, what's that? He says, a logo. Bobby replied peevishly, then stormed off toward the path and down it into the street. So sort of a testy encounter here with someone who just been, was he taking pictures or just sort of looking at the...
He was just looking at something intently.
Okay.
And then, leapt a foot in the air, screamed, roared what is it? Roared?
Yeah, roared. He roared. Rah!
And then fell on his ass.
Yeah.
Rah! And fell down.
Ow, my ass.
And then she's looking down at him, and what's that on your jacket?
A logo?
None of your business. And then he stood up and stormed off. So... slightly suspicious behavior, but, who knows?
Very much so. All right. That's the end of Chapter 3. Before Chapter 4, maybe we should do some real or fanfic.
Oh,
only got one of them this time, so we got to do it.
Fanfic. Real fanfic.
Okay. This is Real or Fanfic. Very cozy Real or Fanfic, where our beloved Patreon jackals over at patreon.com/372 pages are going to try to either write fanfic from later in I'll Be Home for Christmas by Rosie A. Point, or they have found real passages from the second half of the book that they think might fool you. So we're going to do 5 of them. They could all be real, they could all be fanfic, or they could be a combo of the two. But
okay, and this is a one-off, so I would like this not to be added to my stats.
I'm afraid that the commission has already issued a ruling on that. It cannot happen unless they need the Veterans Committee to vote to overrule it. Yeah, I feel like you've been on a hot streak lately. This is
I don't know. I'm scared of this because this is so weighty. There's only one data point for this whole book.
Right.
What if I just whiz this down my leg, as they say?
Well, that wouldn't be very cozy. I think you need a candy cane and a Christmas cake and some cherries to
whiz this down
manifest.
What? I don't. I don't know. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's see if that happens. Number 1. Stop staring at my pants, Mr. Pringle roared. I gulped. Dixie flew into a rage at the cheek of the man and barked like a dog possessed. She launched herself towards him and grabbed hold of the leg of his pants, tugging and growling, jerking her body backward. Get it off me, Mr. Pringle cried. Get this disgusting creature off me. Dixie, stop, I said. The pants didn't rip, not a single tear, and Dixie was pretty good at ripping up clothing, furniture, chew toys, and more. Did that mean the pants were sturdy enough to survive a climb through a window? Probably. Come on, Dixie, that's enough. I bent and detached her from Mr. Pringle's hem. The minute I touched her, she relaxed and cuddled into my arms. Now you listen closely to me, miserable girl, Mr. Pringle said, approaching with his finger out, jabbing it through the air. You can go to the authorities. You can say whatever you want to them about Ollantine. You will not get anywhere because everyone knows we're rehabilitating that owl, and everyone knows where their bread is buttered as well. Money makes the world go round.
Well, first of all, good guy, I think, Mr. Pringle. I'm going to say that is fanfic.
Okay.
And I have no, one word, the cheek.
Yeah.
Seems British, so could be a tip-off. I don't know. She's also had other Britishisms in this. South African, so who knows? Right.
I even read that and thought it was like her biting the guy's butt, like the copper-toned dog.
The cheek of this.
Got it. Yes.
You're cheeky. You're...
Got it. All right. So you said fanfic for that one. Number 2. Thank you for letting me walk Ollantine. I think we're really starting to get along. Of course, of course. It's what my wife wanted, and she was a good judge of people. It's no wonder that Ollentine has warmed up to you. Mr. Pringle, I hate to be a bother, but I think Dixie left her hat back in your study. Would you mind if I ran and grabbed it? Of course, said Mr. Pringle, but I'm afraid I must head to the kitchen and talk with the chef. Would you mind letting yourself out? I nodded in agreement and walked down the hall with Dixie to the study. When I found the cable knit hat that matched the rest of Dixie's outfit, I noticed her cocked head and flopped ear. Dixie was looking at a large globe on a stand with rollers. What's up, Dixie? I asked. Dixie pawed at the globe with her foot. I felt a tingle in my spine. Could this have something to do with the accident? I walked over to inspect the globe and realized that it opened. I pulled back the top of the globe to reveal a small collection of bottles. Rye, brandy, scotch, and Kirsch.
Wow. Well, this seems tailor-made to want me to choose it, and so I will. I think this is real.
Okay. Kirsch is like a cherry brandy.
Indeed it is.
All right, number 3. All the ingredients come from different production lines, Williams said. There's no way pieces of cherry could get into the pecan nuts. So it's impossible it could have happened at the factory, I asked. Absolutely. All our lines are completely separate, and none of the trucks ever carries both nuts and cherries. The only time we mix our product is in waste processing. Waste? Shavings and scraps, stuff cleaned from the machinery, and products spilled to the factory floor. Mostly it goes to nearby farms. Williams picked a pecan nut from a bowl and tossed it into his mouth. It's perfectly good pig feed. Suddenly I had a thought. A horrible thought. What if somebody resold it to local bakeries?
Wait, resold pig feed to local bakeries?
Well, I mean, he says they sell these shavings and scraps and stuff. He says it makes perfectly good pig feed.
Oh, yes. But what would normally be pig feed is being sold to May's Pet Cafe.
Sure.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Boy, there's pigs involved. I like it. I'm going to say real.
Okay. Number 4. See it? Right there. Gabriel froze the video and jabbed his finger at the screen. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But there it was, plain as the nose on my face. When Kayla tried to grab Ollentine, she had accidentally knocked over a small bottle. The liquid inside poured into the cake batter. Kayla hadn't even seen it happen. She was too busy with the ball of feathers she was trying to shoo out of her kitchen. It's got to be cherry extract. Gabriel was almost giddy with excitement. I looked at Dixie, who looked as worried as I felt.
Wow, that's tough. Yeah, the dog is anthropomorphized a lot already.
Yeah.
Paws over eyes. Ow. I mean, people picking out real passages to fool me doesn't seem that bad, so I'm going to say real.
All right. And let's see, this is the last one, number 5. I didn't mean to, Melinda was saying, her eyes wide and starting to tear up. Lacey looked equally distraught. I had only turned my back on the stroller for half a second. Harry squatted down to meet them at eye level and asked with genuine concern, "What's going on, girls?" The door to the empty owl stroller lay in the white snow. Oh, heavens, what had Melinda done? And where was Ollentine? Frantically, I scanned the awnings of the shops, the street lamps, and the crisscrossing lines of Christmas lights and garlands overhead to see if I could spot the white owl. There was a commotion to my left. Mr. Sharnack, standing next to the hot cider shack, was flailing his arms and shouting something incoherent. Ollentine fluttered above him, still unable to fly with the power and speed of a completely healthy owl. But his claws were working just fine. He swooped down at Mr. Sharnack's head and then climbed back up, clutching his fuzzy prey. A ratty-looking toupee.
That serves Mr. Sharnack right.
Damn him having clearly outlined rules for the property he owns.
Wow. I'm going to say fanfic.
Okay. All right. Let's see how you did. Number 1 was the cheeky Mr. Pringle, the dog biting his pants. and him saying, "Money makes the world go round, sweetheart." You said that was fanfic, but that's real from later on, submitted by Tyler. So we haven't even met
that's
Mr.
a bad start then, because yeah, oh boy,
We haven't met Mr. Pringle yet, but that may color our reading of him this time. Number 2, this was good discovering the bottles of Kirsch and other booze inside the globe. You said real for that, but that is fanfic written by Hayden, so 0 for 2 to start.
I'm destroyed.
Oh, dear.
I'm glad
Christmas
this is going to be added to my total.
The Christmas Eve celebration is canceled at your house. It's
yeah. Good.
Number 3 is the hog feed, making it into the production of local bakeries. You said real for that one. That is fanfic written by Jory. 0 for 3. Oh, my God.
Disaster.
Christmas is canceled everywhere. This is...
Everyone is just off.
Number 4 was cherry extract, which you said real. So you also thought that there was Kirsch and cherry extract in 2 different passages. That was fanfic, of course, written by Josh. 0 for 4. And then number 5 was the owl snatching the toupee, which was, you said fanfic, and that was fanfic written by Chap. So 1 for 5. It's stocking full of coal, I'm afraid, but it could have been worse.
Oh, wow. That is cherries in my mouth. That is
It's tricky. It's only been like 10,000 words of this book. It's hard to understand what's coming. I sympathize. Wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
Who was the playwright? The Aeschylus was bald, right? And I believe he was parodied by some other Greek writer who said he died when a pelican dropped a turtle on his head, thinking it was a rock. So everyone was like, "Ha ha, he's bald."
Got him.
So that's what made me think of Mr. what? Sharnkov?
Mr. Chernoff. Yeah, I'm imagining like Mr. Dekovich from the Spider-Man movies. But
Yeah.
man, an old-timey Greek philosopher roasts, and that must have circulated by engraved tablets. So just... You hear the one about Aeschylus? Like, oh no, it's like, oh yeah, it was from 3 years ago. It just made our way to our town. But man,
Dad over the morning paper. Here's one for you, honey. Please, I am making toast. I am making garum for breakfast. Okay, well, wow, that it hurts, but I didn't have a lot of wind up to it. That's why I said, come on, it's a one-off.
Yeah, it's
Data
tricky.
point is small.
It's tricky. Well, let's go meet Mr. Pringle, who we just talked about in real or fanfic. He's an older gentleman, perhaps in his 60s, wearing a stripy Christmas sweater and a tired expression. So he is grieving his wife of probably 30 plus years, but he still has time to put on the ugly sweater with the Christmas story leg on it or something.
She would have wanted it. Here's the sentence that caught me out. His white hair stood up in the center of his head, and he raised a hand, flattening it to no avail. So he flattened it, but that was to no avail in flattening it?
He just boing, stood right back up.
But he said he flattened it.
Oh, okay.
So it was flattened.
Temporarily
but to no
flattening
avail,
it to
what
no
was
avail.
the avail? I'm sorry. I pick
I think that the
on
how to write
imprecise writing.
Right. I think the how to write cozy Christmas story books are much heavier on have them be drinking cocoa every 500 words and less on have your physical actions make sense in time and space.
Stripy Christmas sweater. We're done here, people. We don't need to know whether his hair was flattened or not.
And so he just sort of goes about like, so you're here to you're the dog walker. All right. I don't suppose my wife discussed Allantine's routine with you, did she? It's like, you haven't destroyed the owl cage in a fit of grief? Like, what's wrong with you? The first thing I would take an axe to.
He walks her through the thing again, like nothing is like, whatever, what are you going to do? But then he says, much cozier for the poor boy. I was like, thank you. I don't know that any of our books have ever included the word or the root of the word in. I'm so happy. Like he just said, huh? Isn't this all cozy? He had a sweater on. Like the chalk outline of his wife is still there. You put a heat gun over it, she'd still see some red there.
Yeah, but he's put a Santa hat on the top of the chalk outline, so that's nice and cozy.
Oh, we're so cozy here.
Wow. Yeah, that's maybe that's the level of book she read is just tell people that it's cozy. That's the best way to establish the cozy setting.
We all know why we're here. Stop beating around the bush.
Speaking of beating around the bush, he says, sorry, it's much easier for me to be in the living room at the moment. My wife passed away recently. And then the narrator says, yesterday, you mean? It's like, yeah, his wife did die yesterday. So the fact that he said she passed away recently is quite odd. He also goes on to say that, like, he's talking about the owl, but he sounds bitter when he talks about him. So the owl was a point of contention in their relationship.
That's a Sonic challenge for you.
Oh, what is it?
If you're going to give me real or fanfic, you're going to have to do Sonic challenge.
Fine.
His beak's bent out of shape ever since my wife died. They were thick as thieves. A hint of bitterness had entered Mr. Pringle's tone at that. Do you need the line again?
No, I've got it right here. And so, yeah, this is a man. His wife died yesterday. There's a woman coming over to walk their owl.
Hint of bitterness. Look, you're the actor. I'm not going to give you a line reading here. You do it. Go ahead.
His beak's been out of shape ever since my wife died. They were as thick as thieves. Sorry.
Go try it again. Okay,
I'm chopping my vegetables. It's
yeah, there you go. Okay,
they were as thick as thieves.
Okay. All right.
How did that read to you?
Well, 40% bitterness. Is that a hint?
Yeah, I think that's a hint. Like a hint of lime on those tortilla chips. You can still taste a pretty good amount of lime.
That's true. Okay, good. All right, done and done.
I'll do it with full bitterness.
Okay, now here with...
His beak's bent out of shape ever since my wife died. They were as thick as thieves. Please take a seat.
Wow, full Charlton Heston there.
Oh yeah, that's it. He's bitter throughout the Planet of the Apes, right? He's just.
What is man that makes war against other men?
Nice.
That was good. All right. There's some bitterness from Mr. Julius Pringle. We're just giving
Julius
him the name.
Pringle. Twirling my mustache, but not in a bitter way, in a happy way.
I reconstitute potatoes and shape them into whimsical shapes.
Since my wife died, this Christmas Eve celebration will be our most peace-delicious celebration ever.
Don't get your hand caught in my tube.
He would make a good serial killer because he'd be sitting there like in the corner, like covered in blood, and like they come in and they're like, "What's Julius Pringle's clutching?" And he's like, And he raises up the severed head and says, "What's your pop? You can't stop!"
What's in the can? What's in the can? You'll have to see.
It could be like
that's not cozy.
Pringles. Yeah,
that's not cozy.
It could be like my Pringles horror story, where I discovered the mouse had eaten up the beginning of it, so I saw gradually increasing holes in the Pringles as I was, sitting there eating them at 2 a.m. and realized that it happened. But you get all the way down, and then there'd just be a hand at the bottom of the Pringles.
I once, I think I told you, I got assigned to make popcorn for the. For my high school for like the Friday night football games.
Oh boy.
Like go get the, here's the key. We trust you to have the key to this like locker. So I went and, there's bags of popcorn and stuff. But there was the popcorn medium, the yellow crap that you'd throw in there.
Sure.
I thought, why someone kept digging at it with a fork. Like, why did someone do that? And then I realized it was just rats were eating the bars.
God.
So we were like throwing them in there.
Oh my God.
Where's the fork that was doing this? Like, oh, whoops.
I mean, because we've all considered seeing what that stuff tastes like. Like, that's the butter flavoring. It's probably got the salt in it, too. I mean,
yeah, it sat there, under the bleachers or whatever for like a year before they pulled it back out.
Oh. Revolting. But, so you fried it up anyway. I think that stuff gets hot enough that it probably kills whatever's in there.
What's a few rat germs? So here's Mr. Pringle. here's the dialogue between them. Sorry, Mr. Pringle, but what's an owl stroller? Because he says take the owl out for a walk.
Oh, God.
Here I was thinking, and I'm going to do it, based on what we know about him. Here I was thinking Roberta had contacted a professional. Pringle grumbled. It's a stroller for owls, Miss Jameson. It's all right there in the name. So, did you really think that your wife had hired a professional owl walker? This town only supports one pet cafe. Surely there's not.
Yeah.
So she sorted through all the owl walkers and came up with the one who was the most professional.
Sort by professional is not really an option you get on Yelp or Google Maps these days. Well, let me do a reverse one. I just want the most bumbling idiots, like 2 idiot students movers.
Wow, he actually thought Roberta had contacted a professional.
Just by the fact that you get paid to walk dogs, thereby makes you a professional, I would say. So there's no certification programs or graduate degrees, I don't think, in the dog walking industry. I'm sure there are some people who are like the high-end ones. If you go to Manhattan, there's probably dog walkers that are...
Yeah, but they've never been hired to, fetch the owl stroller. That's what's it's like coming into, you're the new guy at work, and they go hey, could you go to the basement and get the smoke shifter? And you're like, oh, I guess. And then, there's no such thing as a smoke shifter, you dumbass.
Gotcha.
You got me, all right. Get the owl stroller, Mrs. What?
But it's so again, what did this woman think she was going to be doing, but she was required to take this owl on walks? I don't know. I think the whole premise is quite far-fetched, I would say, but what are you going to do? We're reading I'll Be Home for Christmas. We've got to accept some of this.
There is a level of professionalism I expect from... What is it? Dachshund Through the Snow?
Dachshund Through the Snow. And then the third one of the series was Have a Holly Collie Christmas was the third one, so... Mr. Pringle has also gone to his laptop and read an email and then muttered idiots under his breath because there's a owl society that has been contacting him recently. So that's we're left to that as a mysterious B plot simmering below the surface.
Now you already pronounced it is Allentine?
I have no idea. I just
Allentine?
Allentine.
I looked it up. There is no precedent for it. Sometimes it's named after. Oh, that's a Roman author.
Okay.
I didn't know that. It is not.
Okay, yeah, I think that I misspelled Valentine when I did it.
No, I think they wanted us to pronounce it Owlentine, but there's no W, so I refuse to do it. So anyway.
I could find a grave of a guy who was born in 1876 named Allentine Thomas, but that's it's one of the top results. He does not appear to be famous. Old timey names, hell yeah.
And then people meeting him what is your name?
Ollie.
I'm sorry, it's rather common. It's Allentine.
Allentine Q. Bickerstaff. My grandfather was on the Titanic.
Well, okay, thank you. Take a seat, Mr. Glasscock.
Yeah, and so the guy says, I want you to walk her at least twice a week. I'll pay you $100 per week to take care of him for an hour a day. So she forgot sort of what the assignment was in between saying twice a week and then $100 for an hour a day.
Sure.
But I think that is a good rate for her because she's like, wow, all right. That's
yeah, she actually says, wow, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, I only need to get 48 more jobs that I can make rent. And then it says, Allentine doesn't know what's right for him. Isn't that right, Allentine? This time, the owl didn't turn, but ruffled the feathers down low and released what could only be described as, poop. It splattered on the floor. Right on the chalk outline of his former... Oh, no, come on.
Come on.
Allentine.
That's just insult to injury.
Could only be I guess you could only describe poop as poop. That makes sense. That's the only way to describe it.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't look it up. Are owls, is that go into guano territory?
Yeah, cloaca, so it has both, like most birds do. I don't know. Owl pellets also resemble poop, but that's barf.
I was going to say pellets. Yeah, that's when they retch up the mouse skeletons.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah. I'm sure you have a collection.
I think we did one with my niece that was, I think she was a little too young for pulling a mouse skull out of something that looks like poop, but she wasn't as into it as I was.
Okay, then we get to, this is a theme. Now this becomes a full-out theme in this book. And all of our books. So I don't know what is going on here. I worried my bottom lip with my teeth, then nodded. Any idea? Worried? That seems like a southern term, right?
Yeah, exactly. Southern of Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
I worried my bottom. But people are in our books are constantly abusing their lips, faces, eyes, noses, just the whole, this area.
Yeah, you get into just trying to describe, I guess, actions and stuff you take for granted, and so you're trying to describe someone doing the meet cute heroine lower lip bite to look adorable, and then you get descriptions of that saying that you're worrying it, and I guess that's just because no one's really thought about how to describe stuff like that in print, such a visual medium.
Why is she? I don't know. I guess she's trying to be judicious with word count here, but I worried my bottom lip with my teeth and nodded. Other places she has the owl, pooping for 4 sentences. Give me a little bit more description of what you're talking about. I worried it. Mm-hmm. My bottom lip went, I'm not comfortable with this.
It's like when cartoon characters chews their nails like a typewriter. She sort of does that all along her lower lip and then cha-ching, goes back and worries it again.
Oh, anyway, that was my last note for chapter 4.
Well, chapter 5, so we had the owl pooping, and then chapter 5 starts with my stomach bubbled with anticipation, so that's not a good sign, I don't think. But she has been doing research last night on her sofa with Christmas music tinkling from my TV and the Christmas tree flashing sparkling red, white, and green lights. I had pulled up the cord on a neon sign that says, "It's cozy, damn it!" And that was sort of sparking in the background. But she's discovered that keeping an owl in captivity as a pet was not the done thing. So it's you're not supposed to keep owls in captivity, I guess, as a domestic pet.
Now, is that I don't know, is that a backyard chickens kind of a rule where it's like, well, in this community,
yeah,
can you shoot a red squirrel with a break barrel gun in this? No, you can't here, but just out of town you can.
Right.
Can you keep an owl in captivity? Well, it depends. Where do you live? What's your address?
Right. Yeah. It's sort of like the guy who in Manhattan, there was a guy with a tiger in his apartment once in the 90s. But I think
Siegfried or Roy, which one was it?
But she's trying to be like, so this is illegal. So maybe I can, maybe I'll be able to free the owl this way. And so I thought, if there's a chance that this turns into the crime she ends up investigating and Mrs. Pringle dying is just sort of forgotten about, it would be the greatest moment in podcast history if it was like the back half of the book is all just sort of finding technical details in old laws from the 1800s, being like, but you can keep an owl in a domicile if it has 6 basement egresses.
And finally Pacino plays Holly. No, you're out of order. This whole place is out of order. You can't keep an owl.
You want me on that owl. You need me on that owl.
I want the owl. You can't handle the owl.
This has gotten remarkably uncozy as people are just shouting in courtrooms.
A lot of spit flying around.
Well, she goes back to the house to walk the owl, I guess, and the maid is like, it's been a nightmare around here ever since Mrs. Pringle died. It's like, yeah, I guess, you're one of the 2 people that live here dying can sort of inconvenience you, I would suppose, Mrs. Maid. But then she goes into the kitchen, and I thought this was hilarious. Do you want to read it?
Well, I'm assuming you're talking about the whiteboard?
Yes.
Bold and clear as day, the words, "No cherries" had been scrawled across it in whiteboard marker. So the 80s band Warrant is like, all right, we're out, I guess. No cherries. So she has to remind, hey, By the way, if I have a single cherry, I will turn white as chalk, grasp my throat, point at whatever you served me, and then I will die.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me just make a note of that. And also, it's just funny that there's no eraser at the bottom. Like, well, I mean, she's dead. So
Right. Right. You make it out in that, when you've erased a whiteboard that had stuff written on it for a long time, you can still very much make it out.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a chef. I don't know if it's a live-in chef at this restaurant, but he is a employee, one of two employees. So
She,
think
right? It's a woman.
oh yes, she. Yeah, the chef was a woman.
What?
But it's like, well, yeah, cherries. They don't come up in my style of cooking very often. I'd say most home cooks probably could go a year without using a cherry in something. So the fact that cherries are banned and absolutely will kill someone should make that task even easier. But no cherries is written on the whiteboard. I thought it could have been like the Lionel Hutz meme where it was like, works like contingency, ? No, money down. Like, no, comma, money down. No, cherries. Walnut in pies? No, cherries. It's like, so maybe that, if it was Encyclopedia Brown, he would notice that, there was a comma and an exclamation mark that were faintly erased from that. But
So she hangs out in the kitchen with the chef. Doesn't get a name, I don't think.
it gets a name later,
Oh.
but
Delilah's
Delilah
the
is the
maid.
maid, and this is
Yeah, she does.
Farrah.
Okay, Farrah. Farrah says, my prototype, I've been working on something special for her, something she'd enjoy with plenty of pecan nuts. She loved pecan nuts. Is that I thought you just called them pecans.
Sure, yeah. You get a handful of pecan nuts, a handful of almond nuts, a handful of walnut nuts, and you got yourself a good bowl of mixed nuts.
This seems like, you know what? She loved cow meat. So I'm going to make her a whole bunch of stuff with cow meat in it.
We did a short once where it was like, by this point in time, the young kitten is old enough to enjoy cow's milk. It's like, okay, but you're clearly an alien trying to pass yourself off as human because we just call that milk down here.
Pecan nuts. There's an old movie, an old war movie, I think like a John Wayne or something, where the Japanese are, pretending to be Americans or whatever. Like, how did the Yankees do this year or something, They tip their hand like the Yankees didn't play in the playoffs. You die, Joe. And then the fight starts.
Wow.
Pecan nuts?
That could be it.
I think we're tipped off now that you are, in fact, not from America.
There we go. That's where you arose in an unpredictable place, but... And then there's a flash of movement that catches your attention from outside, but that's not elaborated on for the rest of the sentence. But someone is observing things, it sounds like.
Oh, yes.
But it says, the chef says, no cherries. Now I'm the one who's going to take the fall for this when I didn't bake any cherries into that darn cake. It's like, there's no fall to take. They're not even filing the manslaughter charges.
Oh, that's the most they could charge you with, and they seemed very uninterested in doing it.
The police writ it off immediately. There's all you have to grapple with is your own. Did you do enough to keep cherries out of this kitchen type of thing? But then, so she says, I'm not guilty of any crime, or unless Mr. Pringle wants to bring a lawsuit, or the court can prove I acted negligently, but I didn't. I wasn't here that morning, and I certainly didn't put any cherries in the batter. She goes on to say, the cake wasn't out on the counter. It wasn't meant to be served. I have this process where I cure the Christmas cake with sugar. It makes for a much more interesting texture. I had put the cake away in the pantry and gone on my break. So this I just want to make sure that's clear. The chef had baked a cake, taken a break, put the cake in the pantry. This is not just the batter, right? You wouldn't say I put the cake away in a pantry if it was batter. She baked the cake and put it in the pantry. Later going to
I don't think you'd put room temperature batter into cure with
cure with the sugar, which I assume means frosting or fondant or something like that. Unclear what a Christmas cake is to begin with, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But then she says, that's where my theory comes into play. Someone who knew about the allergies and didn't like Mrs. Pringle, put cherries in the cake after the fact. How do you do that? I know how I could do it, but it would result in enormous thumb marks and pieces of cake everywhere, and cake that clearly looked like it had cherries in it after the fact. It would destroy the cake to insert a bunch of cherries in it after the fact, enough that you could be reasonably confident a woman cutting a slice of it would get a slice with a cherry in it.
That's why, not to excuse myself, that's why I might have bit at people putting cherry liqueur.
Yep. Or extract.
With a needle injection into the cake.
Got it.
Even though that was not the cake that she was going to serve her? She did a trial cake?
Oh, I guess she says it was a prototype, right?
A prototype. So who was serving? So then the maid is like, hey, there's a fully baked cake just sitting here. Like, it didn't have a giant note on it that said, this is curing, please do not serve to Mrs. Pringle.
Well, he needed to get another whiteboard and write that on it. It was out for delivery. Amazon runs slower at the holidays, so it's like, it was supposed to get there that morning, but it was running late.
So that's why I fell for that. But anyway, the chef says, I know her allergies and her preference when it comes to food. I mean, it sounds like she really only had one allergy that you needed to be terribly concerned with.
And one preference, really.
Like
I'd like to eat this and not die. That's my preference.
Yeah. Feels like that was pretty clearly spelled out on your whiteboard that sat there.
And her, as she's assessing the suspect list, it had to be someone who knew about the allergies. So someone who's been in the kitchen and saw the enormous whiteboard that says no cherries. That's like, it's not really a hush-hush matter in this household, it doesn't seem.
That is like the prison rule or something. You're like, no touching, no cherries. So anyway, I brought you this cherry cake. No cherries.
Warrant is like, oh, come on. We got this gig on the fly after it that's playing at a prison. We figured there'd be a lot of Warrant fans in prison because they're not exceptionally bright. So, damn it. County fair it is.
And so... let's see, Mr. Pringle, does she go and... Oh, yeah. No, Delilah comes in.
Yep.
And says, look, I got to show you to Olentine. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Who cares? That's on them. God damn it.
Olentine's room. And the maid goes like, here's the room. He's been staying here. Now, this snowy owl. They're fully white, right? Snowy owls? Okay. Here's his room. Here's Olentine's room. And she says, forgive me, but I'd prefer not to go in with you. Like I said, Olentine's been in a mood lately. So the maid just hands her the giant poop rag and is like, I am going to be taking off because the owl's in a mood. The mood being, it shits everywhere.
Yeah, that's, whew, this is not my first rag of the day.
Oh, but you have at it here. Here's some microfiber and some hypochlorous acid. Go at it.
She's been doing a move we call the full O, where she pukes up a pellet into the poop, and that is not cozy at all, I'm afraid.
And then takes her talons and sort of stirs the whole thing up while she looks right in your eyes. So enjoy that. I'm going to take off if you don't mind.
She licks it off the talon. This is really getting less cozy by the second. Then she barfs that up. It's man. So yeah, her not willing to go in there. That sort of seems like the dog that barks. If the owl sees her the next time, it starts hooting because she was involved. I don't know. It also says she was as she leads Holly up the stairs, the maid is trailing her hand along the balustrade like she owned the place and was a princess in a castle rather than a helper. I think that's a lot to read into a gesture, frankly.
It is. But so you're thinking with the owl, you're thinking guard goose, right?
Oh, yeah, that was the guard goose Christopher Columbus Day.
Honk, honk, yeah.
Or, the reverse dog who didn't bark. There's no better way to phrase that, right?
Right.
And also, it says, Farah, the chef, mouthed something I couldn't quite make out as she glanced back at her as she left, but who knows what that might have been.
She unfortunately, she slightly voiced it like, don't talk about the murder of Mrs. Pringle. Mouth something like, okay, I got away with it. Woo.
Julius gives us Pringles for life. It's a great gig. I don't want to lose this job. I really like Pringles.
Most of what I bake is 80% Pringles.
I'm going to get a novelty cookbook offer off my Tumblr, Cooking with Pringles. It's going to be given as a gift for Christmas and then really available in the dollar bin the next week.
You coat chicken fingers with Pringles, kids go nuts.
Yeah. None of it's really practical because Pringles are sort of expensive as an ingredient. You should be using panko. It's hard to tell once they're ground anyway. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Whoo, said the owl. Chapter 6, she says, the more I got to know animals, the more I became convinced that they were just like people, only more pure and definitely more loyal. Olentin just fires off another splat onto the floor at that moment.
Exactly.
Lifts a whole leg to do it.
I said, until that owl poops on a drink cart, he's no hero of mine.
He was a service owl. That's why I was allowed to have him on the plane flying free.
You do it, Olentin, yeah. I'll join you in a second.
Then it grabs 2 beers and goes down the slide.
What a hot take, too. Like, oh, you know what I believe? Like, oh, God. The dinner party stops. And, no, what do you believe? Yeah. I believe that animals are the... Oh, God.
Yeah. You can't hug with nuclear arms.
Oh, boy.
Sarah McLachlan starts playing.
Yeah. They're more pure and definitely more loyal. Oh, God.
Yeah, Dixie's just going to town on her own crotch. Just like, I got just this worm won't come out. Ugh, come on.
Oh, is that pecan dish coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, those come out whole with me, I guess. I pooped out a whole balloon once. And then so she starts talking to the owl, and this was another thing that I thought, I knew what she was getting at it, but it was funny to see written in print just because it's not something that comes up in a lot of the books I read for an English major. It didn't have a lot of this gesture in it. I know how crazy that sounds. Walking an owl, crazy. I looped a finger next to my temple. So she sort of did the cuckoo gesture, but it was just something that it didn't come up when they made us read, Salman Rushdie or Wide Sargasso Sea in English major classes. No one was really doing a lot of that in those books.
Yeah. But she's doing it just to the owl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody else is in the room.
Yeah.
And then she says, I'm going to ignore this one, but I'll just point it out anyway. Your mom, Roberta, she wanted me to walk you, she says to the owl.
Oh, dear.
All right, we'll let that one go.
She's got an owl mom bumper sticker. Is that the trigger that says Olentin glared in what I could only call a hateful manner?
That's what I wrote. Look, man, you're writing this. You can say whatever you choose.
It can only be described as poop.
I can only describe it. No, you can't. There are other ways you could do it. You're in charge here, man.
Yeah. Did Olentin raise a paw in like a Hail Hitler salute? Or like how hateful was this manner? I don't know. She says, I'm going to try to get you out of here. I think you should be free. I needed to do research about this. It might not even be legal to keep owls as pets in New York, in which case I could report this to local authorities.
Well, I wrote there, like, the worst they can do is charge you with manslaughter, so don't worry about it. Not a big deal.
Yeah, or if they do lead the guy out, the cops are like leading out Mr. Pringle, handcuffed, perp walking him. He's got a black eye. He's like, they beat me. Get the body cam footage. And they're like, yeah, we treat this as a much worse crime than manslaughter. You son of a bitch. You're gonna fry.
I want to see you. I finally get to frog walk you out of your apartment.
It was my wife's owl. Well, she's been manslaughtered, hasn't he? How convenient. So she goes over and she's like, I should see if there's any evidence about him, writing plan to kill wife .xls file and sends it to two co-conspirators, my Outlook list. And then Mr. Pringle, it says, hadn't even set up a password on his computer. So Not even like having to guess it like in Deception Point where the password was SSS.
All right. And then did he spell it with success or something later? So she
POTUS SSS.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But yeah, nothing like that. But she doesn't find, crimes.spreadsheet. But she first thing she says is a bunch of emails he hadn't opened yet, including one from his lawyer. Do you want to proceed with filing divorce papers as discussed? So Mr. Biles of Matthew Biles Law has been talking to him. Mr. Pringles was going to get divorced from his wife, but right before she died. So
Should I send your motivation to kill your wife over in a letter, or would you just like it to...
certified mail, please.
Yes. All right, if you sign for it, then I will countersign it when it returns to me. Thank you so much.
It's like you mail your own manuscript to yourself so you can have the proof that it was copyrighted in case people try to sue you. He did that with Plan to Kill Wife. Plan to illegally...
It was Mr. Biles. Like, okay, Mr. Biles. I'll call you Mr. Biles from Matthew Biles Law. You can't get anyone else to work with you there, Mr. Like Biles, Cheatham, and Howe. No, it's just Mr. Biles.
Yeah, solo practice. I was disbarred. Please don't look into it. That's why
I got it down in South America. Don't really get along with the other lawyers.
Yeah, speaking of Lionel Hutz, that could be him. And she says, "If only I knew more about criminal proceedings. Of course I didn't need to know more. I was a dog walker, for heaven's sakes. This has never stopped anyone in cozy mystery history, so let's not even acknowledge that, yes, you don't know anything about criminal proceedings." Most of the people in town would think I was a crazy person for even thinking about figuring who had put cherries in the Christmas cake. How do you put them in the cake that's already been baked? But after talking to Farah, I was officially convinced that was the case. Someone had put cherries in the cake. How? How? The rest of the cake is probably still there. I mean, she just had a slice.
And you're talking about, again, actual cherries. Not, again, a liqueur or a, right? Cherry extract.
We've got only 10,000. Yes. So my mom, it's a tradition dating back my whole life. Christmas Eve, you serve a dessert. In one of the servings of the dessert, be it a slice of cake, one of the tarts or whatever, there will be an almond. You get good luck for the rest of the year if you get the almond. She has to craft her whole dessert plan around the fact that you need to be able to hide an almond in it. So if it's a cake, it goes in at the very beginning. It's not like, someone got the lucky slice and there's just like a big fingerprint in it being like, well, okay, we don't even need to eat it. We can see that that's the one with the almond, Mom. You really half-assed it this year.
My wife says that her mom, still around, still kicking, 91, used to take the box of candies because she only liked specific and would like dig her fingernail in the bottom of the candy and go like, I don't like that one, and put it back in the box. So he'd pull out a candy. Oh, this looks good. Ah,
oh, God.
I don't like nougat.
Digging your fingernails through nougat is like reverse ASMR. That's got to be someone's thing.
Oh, there's a whole Reddit forum about it, of course.
You into nougating? Okay. End of that chapter. It goes back to another diary entry. She says, "What a strange week it's been so far." Her sisters want her to come over to make a whole girly slumber party night out of it, except with hot chocolate and marshmallows. We'll just assume that you're drinking hot chocolate for every scene throughout here, I think, through the rest of this book. Unless, tell us otherwise if you're not.
Right. Well, this puzzled me. A girly slumber party night out of it, except with hot chocolate and marshmallows.
Okay.
So I guess that they were talking, like, in place of, like, skinny margs and...
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess that's what it is, instead of, like, penis straws.
Yes.
We're going to be doing it with...
That doesn't specify what shape those marshmallows are.
That's true, but I just, like, a girly slumber party... And, look, I'm reading this. I'm free to do it myself. I'm assuming pillow fight in lingerie. And then, I get to say whatever I want.
Yeah, and then looking at Jonathan Taylor Thomas posters in between that. Get socked right in the jaw with the pillow as you your eyes drift over to the JTT poster.
Ah, the hot chocolate had burned so bad. Sorry,
Why were you holding it during the pillow fight? Oh, my best lingerie ruined by hot chocolate spills. I guess I have to take it off. These are her sisters, I guess. But hey, one of them, it's specified. She's very attractive.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Emphasizes that she broke up with the doo-doo guy. And
Yes.
then she goes on to literally provide a suspect list for us.
Yes. Mr. Pringle, Mr. Julius R. Pringle.
What does the R stand for?
Retirement Pringle?
Julius Retirement Pringle.
I don't know.
Crunch. Julius C. Pringles.
Farah, Delilah, and then this one was funny, like he's a suspect. Bobby, the son-in-law who was at the house and acting strange. I think that is true, like jumping 1 foot in the air and roaring at the top of your lungs and then falling over on your ass. I guess it qualifies as strange. I mean, I know you were surprised. Have you ever been surprised by someone and done that? I know there are like YouTube compilations of people, like jumping through walls and stuff. They get scared. But
Jump a foot in the air. It's not. It seems like that would not be my type of thing. I'm
roaring
a more of
at
a.
the top of your voice. Like
I go onto a chair and hoist my skirts up like a matron who's seen a mouse. That's my.
a mouse. Yes, that is odd behavior. We don't know what it's about, but I suspect it's just like it was supposed to be seen as like, wow, that was kind of odd. But no, it's beyond odd, jumping a foot in the air and roaring at the top of your lungs.
Maybe his odd behavior was reprising the 2011 faux hawk in 2021 when this book was written. I'm not sure. But it is a small town. Things takes their time getting there. But she also says about Bobby, he didn't give me any information, but I can't figure out why he would be hanging around there. It doesn't make sense. Got to find out more about him too. It's like, yeah, that's other than that, Columbo, it sounds like you're pretty on top of this suspect. So
seems pretty easy to look him up. Bobby, a guy with a faux hawk who married a Pringle. I wonder
got
what
his
her
employer.
last name was. It an upgrade?
Yeah,
like
right.
His name is Shitstain or something like that. Damn it! I thought it would do better than Pringle.
Oh. Well, so yeah, 4 suspects. Mr. Pringle is the prime suspect, they say. Then you also have Delilah the maid, Farah the chef, Bobby the son-in-law. And then we get one of my favorite details in one of the whole books we've ever read. After she reveals that she's staking people out. That's when she's doing this. Because Mr. Pringle, who was a food critic in his spare time, was eating at in an old Italian restaurant, Rostetto's, for ages. So he is a part-time freelance food critic, which is I'll give it to him. Not a twist I saw coming.
Are part-time freelance food critics the type who can tell people like an owl stroller? Excuse me. You've never heard of that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's maybe it gives credence to him bumping off his wife if he's bringing in $25 for a bi-weekly food critic column in the local shopper, and then his wife is the one who's affording massive owl enclosures. But I was delighted by that.
I don't get paid for it. Oh, heavens no. He'd been in an old Italian restaurant, so very old Italian restaurant, Ristretto's. For ages. So I don't know when this book was written, but survived the government lockdowns and closures of restaurants. Good for Ristretto's. Mm-hmm. They had to wear a mask in there for 3 years or whatever.
Well, maybe he's doing that anyway to disguise his identity as a part-time food critic.
That could be.
You got to dine there 3 times in different disguises.
Cover up that giant mustache. She says he'd been in there for ages. When just a sentence before she said she'd been there for an hour.
Okay.
Is that really that long at an Italian restaurant?
Yeah,
I mean, that's about average, isn't it?
And if you're there as a
Italians
critic, you've got
famously
to
like take your time. Like
fine hospitality. It sounds like an old school white tablecloth place. They're gonna moose bouche and then the appetizer, wine with each course. They're trying to ply this critic. Got to bring out
been in there for ages. I've been in there for 58 minutes. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal.
Mr. Pringle, we bring out the finest wine from the basement for you. Please, with the good write-up. We know you only do this 3 or 4 times a year in your spare time.
I am on the clock here, my friend. Come on.
Now, please, Giovanni will play you the squeeze box.
All night? No. And then it says she's looking at him and like, my God, what is taking him so long in Ristretto's Italian restaurant? I chewed on the inside of my cheek.
There we go.
What is this thing with people and their faces in these? Come on, she worried her bottom lip, then she chewed on the inside of her cheek?
Yeah, a little.
Wouldn't you immediately go like, ow, ow, oh, God.
Stephen King survivor type, the guy that writes the epistolary book about him eating himself. That could be what we're getting at here.
Tastes just like ladyfingers, God.
God. Stays with me since middle school. But yeah, we got someone wrote an email about the cataloging the various oral fixations that she has in this book, and just went through Brad. He counted 2 separate instances of her chewing on the inside of her cheeks, 2 more instances of her biting her lower lip, and then later we get her chewing on her bottom lip. And then he said at the end of the book, there's a snippet from the next book, and wouldn't you know it, on the 3rd page, we get Holly biting her lower lip again. So, look, my theory,
Chewing.
just like this stage business, it's in another book, How to Write Cozy Christmas Mysteries.
All right, so she's doing this, and then up shows Detective Stokes.
Yes. I believe it's Stokes, and it's also Stoke at times in this book. So it's
Hawks thing.
Exactly.
Wow.
I believe that has been the case.
Detective Stokes waited outside the pickup truck, his exceptionally handsome face in the window, smiling at me. Is there any guy that you can think of that you'd immediately go like, wow, I can't believe that guy is peeking into my pickup truck? And the first thing that comes to mind is how handsome he is.
Right.
I would jump a foot in the air and roar if someone put his face up against my pickup truck.
Yeah, his breast might be fogging the glass. He's got like red cheeks.
What a handsome face.
Yeah, because that could also be played as a shock moment, a jump scare if it was a actual sort of cop thriller. Just it plays a loud noise and his face is in the mirror all of a sudden. But he's hot, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Exceptionally handsome.
He says, mind if I talk to you for a second? And he gets in the car, filling the interior with the scent of his softly spiced cologne. It wasn't unpleasant. And then Holly says, is this because I'm black? And that was where it sort of stood. Took me by surprise that they would bring that into this. I didn't, not how I had read this character so far. That doesn't actually happen. That would have been an amazing twist in the in this book. I think we're supposed to envision all of these characters as Hallmark heroes here.
Come on.
So he's in there, and then he sort of starts apologizing to her.
Yes.
I guess
I mistreated you in high school?
Yeah.
Is that a thing that, like, this is, how long after high school is this?
It is unclear. She had been engaged, that we said.
Yeah, to the guy who was 2-day-old doo-doo.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who kind of want to read the old book. I think he says he cheated on her too. But so, past high school, I'm not sure. It's a small town. People maybe get married a little earlier, but he's a detective. That's not like a rookie cop kind of maneuver, promotion, I mean. And so, yeah, he apologizes for an incident where I dipped the tip of your ponytail in paint so that it ruined your shirt.
Right.
So, in most movies, that's the meet cute backstory of like, oh, I hate that guy. He's so annoying, but I can't stop thinking about him.
He's so handsome. His softly spiced cologne. I did wonder about that. Like, what brand was it? Because, you ever like, I'm sure you have a relative who always wears a certain cologne. You're like, oh, God. If he gives me one of those hugs at Thanksgiving, I'm going to smell like him the rest of the day. So, like, which is what the in-town drugstore sells, like was it like English leather or something? Like,
Yeah.
Is this on sale? I don't know. You can just take it.
Yeah, get a pack of American Spirits and one of those colognes. What's the one that's buy one get one? Yeah, give me those and a Zin.
How softly would you say it's spiced, sir?
Sir, the last clerk got shot. I'm here because of my cousin. I really don't have a. It does have a picture. Congratulations, President Ford, on your recent inauguration on the bottle. So it's been on the shelves for a while.
It's pretty dusty, sir. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take it. This chicks dig it.
So he gets in the car stinking of his, it says the interior of his softly spiced cologne. I'm going to say stinky drugstore cologne.
Yes.
She says it wasn't unpleasant. It was deeply unpleasant. But that apologizing for a high school prank?
Yeah.
Ponytail? I mean, I think that would be a hate crime in high school.
Sure.
Dipping, a woman's ponytail in paint.
It's a hate crime against people with ponytails.
I think.
Maybe that's how Mrs. Pringle got her pigtails to be blue and purple.
I just never washed it out when they hate crimed me in high school.
Yeah, but I ruined that bastard who did it.
So but I'm assuming like late 20s, early 30s?
Yeah, it seems like that, because they're doing the thing where they're like, we're concerned about you. You haven't got your life straightened out yet. So he wouldn't be doing that if she was 23. You're like, this is your time to figure it out. Travel the world.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, and her sisters are, married and attractive and going around the world being genetic.
Conservationists.
Forensic? Okay, conservationists.
Yeah. They're eugenic conservation. Oh, I mean, genetic conservationists. It's... But so he says, I'd like to ask you out on an apology date. And it said, he still had my number after the last strange murder in town. So I guess there's a little bit of backstory, but that sentence made me laugh.
Yes.
Because they just are still there. This is essentially the Hallmark movie standard plot. She just never left the town to go have the successful big city career and is returning for it. She just has stayed there and ran a moderately successful dog walking business. Because usually you come back, you fall in love with the chief of police. Oh yeah, I used to be the quarterback, but my dad got sick, so I stayed here, and now I'm a detective. But they cut out one of the important stops of that story.
And yes, she bites her bottom lip again. And then another great sentence fragment. No matter how, this is period, hard stop. No matter how cute they looked with sprinkles of snowflakes in their tousled hair. It's a pet peeve. I live in Minnesota. We know how snow behaves. When in movies, someone gets in a car and then the snow stays in their hair.
Nice.
For more than a minute. You're like, yeah, it's blasting hot air at your face. That snow is gone almost immediately. So they'll have a 5-minute scene, and then the person will be like, brushing the snowflakes out of your hair. Like, what? Have you never been in a place where it snows?
Right. No, not if we got these Hallmark snowflakes that clearly they're going to have determined have cause whatever the thing is, years down the line.
Yeah. Oh God, you didn't breathe those in, did you? They were in the air. What was I supposed to do?
I thought it was Christmas magic. Oh no, that's like 19 carcinogens.
Yeah, those are mercury, aluminum, cadmium.
My sister, the genetic conservationist, can tell you what those just did to your DNA right now, and it's not good. It is.
You are messed up.
And so he gets asked out on the date. They say they'll do it, and he leaves, and she starts the truck's engine and trying not to read into the conversation I just had. So exciting.
Yeah. So yes, the date, and then she does the oh, you want to go on a date? A date? Great. Oh gosh. And then we're supposed to read it because it's in italics. I think that's her own mind.
Yeah.
Did I just say great 20 times in a row? So I thought she was early 30s. She's 11. So
Right. Yeah, she's been engaged. She knows this is not your first time around the block.
Like, great.
Yeah.
I'd like that. A date, an apology date. I'd like that. Chapter 8 is the last chapter we read this section. It's about the halfway point of the book, and it's not the girly sleepover, but it is a lunch event over at her mother's house, where her sisters are in attendance, along with Lacey and Melinda are the two girls, the two rioters, and they are running around petting the dog and stuff.
What did Lacey and
Melinda,
yeah, they dived into the sofa. Yes, okay.
Yes. And then Victoria, my gorgeous tall sister, entered the room, a vision in pearls and a white cashmere sweater, ladies.
But at the beginning of the chapter, the sister says, Jamie called from the kitchen, Ma, how long do I put the cake in for? Dangling, whatever.
Okay, yep.
Well, that depends entirely on whether or not you're curing it with sugar, right? Well, I'm assuming once you get it out, you're going to... This is a prototype cake.
Cake. This goes in the cupboard.
And then presumably it's easy then to stud it with cherries once it sits there.
Studying it would be one thing. It's who put the cherries in the cake is the question they've asked over.
I don't know.
We're going to let these two riot kids, because if those girls pick up the cake, they're going to trash it anyway, so it will look the same as if they just shove a bunch of cherries into it.
Oh, it was a great 50s doo-wop song. Who put the cherries in the cake?
Well, I mean, you've got what's his name? Harry Nielsen putting limes in coconuts. So
that's
maybe
true.
Putting cherries in cakes.
There's no reason for that.
It's not as easy as that. Yeah. She said 30 to 40, or until a toothpick comes out clean when you prick the middle. Standard, annoying baking device. Putting a toothpick in and just trying to assess whether it's clean or not.
Yeah. Before it gets to, and before you subvert it, Sonic challenge for you.
Damn it.
I know. This is almost as good as the previous one where you had to laugh like it was the funniest thing you've ever heard.
Oh, God.
They petted her and cooed. These are the young girls, Veronica and Melinda, sorry. They petted her and cooed, and occasionally shouting game ideas at the tops of their lungs. So you might want to back up from the microphone.
Yep. Okay.
But, petting and cooing, you can do that where...
Shoots and ladders! Trouble! Sorry! Hi-yo, Cheerio! Monopoly Junior! How about that?
That's good.
I guess those aren't really ideas. You have to be like... Clue, but with the cast of the new Gorillas, all the characters! That's an idea for a game.
Yes. Oh, I guess. Like Monopoly, but with the addresses of all the guys who were on Friends. Something like that.
It's perfect. That's an idea.
Oregon Trail. But except for Oregon, you're in a different state.
Oregon Trail, but it's the South African unpleasantness from the 80s.
That was good. That was Melinda and... I'm sorry, I don't have their names right.
Melinda and Jamie. Oh, sorry. Lacey and Melinda are the girls.
And Melinda.
Jamie and Victoria are the sisters.
And Holly is currently hiding by a tree?
Yeah, she sort of is trying to make herself not seen as all this is going on. Sipping her eggnog for fortification.
Now, presumably, this is one of those things where, like, we join in media res, of course, with the woman from the kitchen, but they were all together at some point. But then suddenly our hero, like, retreats and, like, hides in a corner by the Christmas tree. So it'd be like, what's going on, man? We already had a glass of eggnog. I mean, I stirred a chocolate with my candy cane. Why are you now standing in the corner?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're supposed to be like the body language is supposed to tell. I'm uncomfortable with this. Well, yeah, we've been together for 4 hours, so
they pulled Victoria aside. Hey, Victoria, don't mean to interrupt. You're, of course, stunningly hot. You've got the perfect life in the big city. Your girls, when the dog entered the first time, they also ran over and cooed and shouted out game ideas as they did that. They're doing this again like 20 minutes later. It was off-putting the first time. Now I'm deeply concerned about it. I please don't look at me like that because you're so hot that it sort of disarms me when you do it. But you know what? I'll drop it. Your kids are shouting game ideas. At
the tops of their lungs, that's perfectly normal behavior.
They just shouted Trivial Pursuit, but it's all about genetic conservation. That's a very niche game idea, but it is a game idea. But I'm backing off. I'm going back behind the tree, sipping my eggnog.
You have the pearls and the cashmere. You look great. I'm going to take off.
And the girls say, why does Holly's dog live here with Grandma? And it's like, that's a good question, girls. This is a very convoluted scenario made up for the purposes of a cozy mystery. The girl, Holly says, I was pretty sure Mr. Sharnock had lied about being allergic to dogs, but it still didn't make a difference. The building had rules against pets, whether he was allergic or not. So it's uncertain really what's going on there. But again, it's a pretty standard apartment building policy.
Right, yes. No word on whether they were asking these questions at the tops of their lungs or not. We don't know. They just come out as regular questions. But then when the rioting kids leave, after like ripping the dachshund in half, I assume, because they were rioting. Yeah. Did you have to snap, Holly? Victoria asked. Mighty defensive, aren't we? I didn't mean to snap. I've just had a rough day. Snapping not pictured.
Okay.
There is no snap. She was like, well, she's just like sort of calmly explaining.
Well, yeah,
I was looking back. I didn't see the snapping. I don't know what are they talking about.
I guess here's what it says. The girls say, can we keep her? Holly says, no, I said, snappier than I'd intended. Sorry, Lacey.
I meant no.
Yeah, because after that, she says, I'm not allowed to keep pets at my apartment. I said with a smile. Why did you adopt a dog if you had nowhere for it to live? I opened my mouth, but no words came out. So yeah, the snapping, is long forgotten by these two whirlwinds of Tasmanian devils of game ideas and rioting.
That's what I didn't get. Like,
it's the most tame snapping I've ever seen. No?
So that was the snapping. Did you have to snap? It seems like the snapping would have been like, for the love of God, stop shouting out game ideas at the tops of your lungs.
Your ideas for games are terrible. They're never going to make Operation where it's Nemo from Finding Nemo you have to operate on. They won't be able to get the license. Disney's very protective.
There's not going to be a Frozen Chutes and Ladders. It's not going to happen. That IP is locked up and sewn tight. Do you understand me?
Oh, Daddy. Did you have to snap at them in such a weirdly specific manner, Holly? Yeah.
I've had a rough day. Ma squeezed her eyes shut for a second and fisted her forehead.
Oh, my.
People in these books really abuse their faces. Weird. That's what I'm talking about.
What? Stupid.
It's like one of those body horror things where suddenly blood starts coming out.
Yeah, Black Swan. You start pulling a hangnail, and there goes the rest of your arm. Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, Mom doesn't have to deal with boneheaded genetic conservationists who get toothpicks stuck in cakes. That's why she's fisting her forehead. Ma, the toothpick. Remember how you told me to stick a toothpick in the middle of the cake? Well, I stuck it in, and the batter just sucked the toothpick in. Like it ate the toothpick or whatever. So I thought, since this is such a weirdly stupid thing that no one's ever experienced, like this is a quicksand cake, that maybe this is how the cherries get in the cake. That's what I was thinking. Absorb them. They Artax them, like in the Never-Ending Story. They just can. That's how you can somehow. But the cake was already baked. It was. I don't know.
Well, that was a prototype cake. It's unclear. No, that one was the one she ate, right?
Yes, it wasn't meant to be eaten as a prototype.
Okay, she ate the prototype cake.
Full of pecan nuts, but also someone put cherries in it.
I guess I've done that before where, hey, we're having guests. I want to test out this recipe. So I'll bake this roast.
Sure,
or
sure,
whatever.
sure.
And then you're like, hey, we can just everyone can
Give
eat
it to the
this
neighbors,
roast for
yeah.
2 days or whatever. But if it were just a prototype, I might hang a little sign on it like, hey man, I was just trying this thing out.
All right, not for human consumption. Or do it at your home. I mean, maybe she's the live-in chef. I don't know.
Yeah, I put plastic straws in this one to kind of support it, so don't eat it.
Oh, those are the penis straws from our girly sleepover. How dare you?
Yes.
So that's we're left to puzzle with that because it's not addressed any other time in this chapter. The toothpick that got sunk into the cake, swallowed.
Yeah, I wondered about that too, and I thought maybe that's going to be the explanation. As lame as that is, like that's how the cherries got sucked into the. Because if you can lose a toothpick, and then she's like, "Oh, you're not a very good chef." Like that, I don't think that's a chef technique. That's just like you don't exist in the physical world as a human being. What?
Yeah, that is like
Can't even poke a toothpick into a cake? Come on.
Yeah, it's a video game character where you've manipulated a physics slider so that they're just like not able to actually You're walking down the streets of Vice City like sticking toothpicks into cakes and beating up cops. All right, so then we get, of course, the hot, successful sister with the perfect life says she's worried about Holly, stuck in the past. Because you still live in Full Fork, you can barely afford your apartment, and you don't have a job. And a very Merry Christmas to you too, Vic. It's like, well, a couple of those are pretty big concerns, Holly. But you're on the verge of being evicted. You don't have a job. Like, that's it's a hard truth to hear, but someone's got to say it, and it's probably going to be your closest family.
I mean, I guess I could meet you at the pet cafe like January 4 and we could go through this, but we're together now. It does seem like you're kind of sliding off the rails and we're concerned. But then she says, very Merry Christmas to you, Vic. She always despised it when I called her that. It was mean of me. Our heroine. I mean, that just sounds like, first of all, I guess she snapped at the kids. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't let them adopt. She didn't give them their dog when she asked for it. That's just, that's pretty much Scrooge right there.
Right. So her mom is like, what is going on? And then Victoria is like, you're really, we see the heroin tracks in your arm. Like now you're going between your toes, under your tongue. Come on, man. You gotta get your stuff together. Like, oh, Merry Christmas to you too, Vic.
They caught you. You tried to sell the Mrs. Cumberbund's prize Bichon under the bridge to some guys so you could get more heroin. It's really rough. It's so not cozy.
I was walking behind the appliance place. You were living in the box that was out back. Like,
I put up a Christmas tree. It was cozy.
There was a pile of human feces in there with you. What? We're concerned about you. Oh.
Some of those were owl feces. Hey, don't demonize me.
Some were pellets.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, those were pellets.
Turned...
Those were feces. They were owl pellets. It all makes sense. I'm doing great.
I'm living my best life. So she turns on Vic. And calls her Vic because she despises when she calls her Vic.
Come on, Vapo Rub.
So Merry Christmas, I guess. At Ma's house. Ma, who is presumably, she's retired because she's knitting cute hats, Christmas hats.
True, yep.
Beanies,
Christmas herself.
Beanies. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said one of Vic's main 3 things she's concerned about is because you still live in Full Fork. Ma is like, yeah, I guess I'm just a piece of garbage that lives in the houses I raised you in and gave you a chance to better yourselves in life, huh? I guess I'm just a sack of garbage. Well, that's good, because I got you a sack of garbage for Christmas. Go back to the big city.
But then she says, so this is the cheating... The guy, the doo-doo guy.
Carl.
Cheated. Yeah, I said, and slipped past my sister at last. I had enough. Which gets close to that had enough.
Oh, sure.
sentence.
God. Yeah, Buffalo.
Yes. I set the eggnog on the sideboard, then picked up Dixie. Okay, sideboard. I mean, I hadn't read that since I read a Jeeves and Wooster book, so I didn't. There was always E and B on the sideboard.
I think we have a sideboard.
It is a thing. So I looked it up.
One time sent me. Well, sure. She sent me to pick up a sideboard, and I was like, "Oh, what? Like it's like a cupboard or something that's just
it's
longer."
a freestanding cupboard, I guess. But then you go to Mayfair. Of course, everything is out of stock or whatever. But it says like sideboard with 6 drawers.
Yeah.
What? Everyone's calling these things sideboards?
I'm sure Chip and Joanna Gaines have like a perfect bound $19 sideboard quarterly that you can get at the checkout aisle of every grocery store.
I just thought it was an antiquated term, but no, it is roaring. I did not know that. So anyway, my fault. Sideboard.
Oh, it's not cozy till you decorate the sideboard, that's for sure.
It just seemed old-timey to me, but not at all.
But then she goes out. She's gathering her dachshund, which, when you're storming out of a room in a huff, stopping to gather your dachshund and put its booties on has got to sort of kill your momentum of like leaving dramatically, I would think. But she ends with this cutting one-liner. You're lonely, Hala. You need a man in your life, Victoria said. Just because you need a man to look after you doesn't mean I do, I replied as coldly as I could manage. And so she leaves on that note. Victoria stared at me, mouth agape, as I left her there, heading out to the front hall to put on Dixie's bootings and her matching winter sweater.
So I'm Vic.
Okay.
Oh, you called me Vic. I hate that. But maybe you need a man, but I don't.
I did not anticipate this backfiring on me.
What? And then like 20 seconds later, like, I can't get this boot. Could you help me with the...
Yeah. You were always...
Okay, hang on. I gotta... Do you tie? Yeah, there's a little tie in back that keeps the booties on. And
there's like
does
45
the matching
degrees.
winter
It's
sweater
like...
go over the... Yes, it goes... So you got to put the paw through. The paw keeps snagging on the... I know. What,
Did your husband dress your 2 children? Your man? Sorry. You can't leave your mouth agape for too long. Someone could walk by and throw a bunch of cherries into it, and we all know they're as deadly as they come.
Or pecan nuts, and then what happens?
This book is pecan nuts. So, all right, that's the first 8 chapters, the first half of I'll Be Home for Christmas by Rosie 8 Points. You obviously don't know where it's going. You got 1 out of 5 in Real or Fanfic. I have no idea where it's headed.
Way to work that into it. Come on.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't know where it's going. But okay, let me test you then. I don't have another Sonic challenge. You're fine. But just here's the list.
Okay.
Mr. Pringle.
Julius.
Farrah.
Farrah the chef.
Delilah.
Maid.
Or Bobby.
Bobby. Oh, who did it? Bobby's the brother-in-law?
Yeah, who did it? You got to. I mean, that's her list. So I assume in the next 8 chapters that she's going to choose one of these people. Okay. So you have to guess.
Mr. Pringle, she identified as the prime suspect. I'm ruling it out based on that because that would be too obvious.
Well, the chef, Mr. Pringle, we already know, right, that he goes like, money is the only thing that matters.
I know, but his pants weren't torn and the dog bit him. I don't know. So that's knowing that.
So too obvious.
Too obvious. Chef, I believe them. No cherries. They didn't do it. Bobby.
I believe the chef. Okay.
Bobby, I think. Maybe Bobby and Maid in cahoots, I'm guessing. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, Farrah. Wait, Bobby and Maid. Oh, Delilah.
Delilah. Bobby and Delilah.
And Bobby?
Yeah.
Are you thinking affair?
I think yes. I guess he was the brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
So he was married to the daughter. Interesting. Yeah. Yep. Affair. And she wouldn't go in the room with the owl because it would identify her and Screech. And I think that's something going on there. Because in this book, men are either distractingly hot or scum and doo-doo. So I think he's in that.
Do you think what the daughter, when we meet her, Rose Pringle? Any guess at her name?
Christmas Pringle.
Pearl Pringle.
Petunia Pringle.
Yeah. Okay.
Petunia Pringle.
Alliteration is good though. PP.
Pizzalicious Pringle. I don't know.
There we go. All right, so you're saying the Maid and Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going to say the chef. Like, the butler always did it. The chef always did it. The denial was just like, look, man, she's only going to go up for manslaughter.
Yeah,
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I had a butler did it note as well. I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's also a point in its favor.
I think he might be wrong though. Like if she did make a cake and thought that the person would die, I'm not, a district attorney or anything. My father was the district attorney. But don't you? Isn't that first degree premeditation?
Yeah, I believe.
I think manslaughter is more like, whoops, I didn't mean to kill the guy.
Yeah,
or it's pled down.
Hit someone with your car, right? I mean,
hit
someone with your car as you were obeying the rules. You weren't drunk or anything.
Yeah, the murder happened without your premeditation and intent. Or sometimes it can happen like on the spur of the moment, like two guys got in a fight, one guy stabbed, the other guy died, like manslaughter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that was like a violent act. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I just think like if someone premeditatedly put cherries in a cake, I don't think the most they can get her on is manslaughter. I think you could say it was first degree murder because you knew it would result in the death, and then there'd be the chain of evidence that you bought the cherries with the intent of killing the person.
But my question is, how did she know about this incredibly obscure cherry allergy?
That's true.
No ways. All right, let's read some dumb sentences before we wrap this up because it's
Okay.
man, I'm getting a little too cozy. I feel like.
Yeah.
Dum 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 dum, dumb sentence of the week.
All right, here are the dumb sentences of the week presented by our beloved Patreon jackals over at patreon.com/372 pages. Did a 280 Mysteries Encyclopedia Brown with some friends of mine from Vermont who own the local comedy club earlier this week. One of the dumbest solutions to a mystery we've ever encountered. Some people in the comments said it might be the worst, most specious one of all. Like
That is a tall order. I'm going to have to watch it.
Truly remarkable what they pinned this whole thing on, and some great Encyclopedia Brown details. Just slamming a fat kid, and then this local lazy guy who's flim-flamming guys in the back of a dump. So just a real treat. Go check it out. It was Encyclopedia Brown in the case of the marvelous egg. Dumb sentences though are from Harrison. Stokes' lips spread in a slow smile, and my heart turned over. And Harrison said, she must love when the Grinch smiles like that, too. Janelle submitted, Janelle is the corgi owner who was licking the yogurt off the spoon in the beginning of the episode. Mm-hmm. No cherries, the chef agreed somberly. Hayden submitted, someone who knew about the allergies and didn't like Mrs. Pringle, put cherries in the cake after the fact, then cut a piece and laid it out on the counter. And Hayden agreed. He said, putting cherries into an already baked cake is a pretty intriguing mystery. I can't wait to find out how they do it. Amy submitted, his eyebrows leaped, then settled, and a broad grin parted his lips. Amy said that wouldn't look out of place in an Ernest Cline novel. Matt submitted, I yawned, then checked my watch. And he said, which makes my experience reading the 6th time she's recapping about the stupid cherries and the stupid cake. Move on already. Nathan submitted one of your favorites. The more I got to know animals, the more I became convinced that they were like people, only more pure and definitely more loyal. He said, just like people, but not like them at all. Elizabeth and Skylar submitted, this was mine. I'll burn it already, but how could you not? Even the doggos went quiet.
Ugh.
Take it. Just get it out. Get out your sighs of disgust at reading the word doggos in a book. It's, yeah.
That makes me want to riot and shout game ideas at the tops of my lungs.
Jacob submitted, I colored and looked away. And he said, I've never heard it said that way. Well, what did you color? Anne submitted, the doorbell tinkled and a tall, dark-haired, broody detective entered the May Pet Cafe. She says, are we sure this was written by an adult? It reads like baby's first cozy mystery. Kate submitted, if my past exploration into sleuthing taught me anything, it was that asking questions was essential. And Kate said that, I imagine in ensuing chapters she will be telling us that the sky is blue, water is wet, and fire is hot. Voluntari submitted, he landed awkwardly and fell backward into the snow on his butt. And they said, these are all the correct words, but due to poor ordering of them, it implies that the snow was already on his butt before he fell. He fell backward into the snow on his butt. Which, he hadn't got in the car yet, so your pet peeve might not have melted off him instantly.
Yeah, true.
And then Chap said, I know that your fiance was the human equivalent of 2-day-old dog doo-doo, but you've got to move on with this life. Which, he said, leads me to submit this perhaps overlooked gem from the preface, which was an excerpt from Holly's diary, which was, you're a book? And Chap says, it feels like a very bad premise for a choose-your-own-adventure story. Perhaps a sequel to You Are a Shark, which in which you become a DVD, a hot air balloon, but never a book.
Never.
Mine was the doggos one. That's what I got.
Mine are I don't like the sentence fragments.
Yeah.
Because in our last book, it wasn't fragments. Well, it was fragments, but people would just think, but it would be unattributed to anyone.
Right.
There are rules for this. And sentence fragments bug me. But, the description of the Christmas cookie bugs me.
Yeah. Right, that should be the easiest thing.
A vanilla, this period, full stop, start of sentence. A vanilla-flavored cookie covered in sugary icing and chewy pieces of peppermint candy. Period.
Is a thing that exists.
Is something that people eat at Christmas time. Terrible sentence, but it's a sentence. This is not a sentence.
All right. Well, sentence fragments are not cozy, folks, so don't use them unless you want to incur Mike's cozy wrath.
My wrath when I am cozy, I will riot like you wouldn't believe. All right. So finish the book.
We're going to finish the book.
And I don't have to do my everlasting shame, please. But go ahead and make fun of me in the comments. I don't care. This is a tough
sounds
one.
like you care a bit. It sounds like it's going to stick with you through the...
Maybe a little.
Sitting there, people are opening presents Christmas morning, and you're just like twisting a napkin. Dear, you haven't even opened your third necktie. I don't care, the damn neckties have screwed up real or fan fiction.
My beloved granddaughter. Look what I got. Look what I got. Look. I'm bitter. Do you understand how bitter I am?
You can't even read. You wouldn't be able to get 1 out of 5 in fanfic. What is he talking about?
Grandpa.
He shuffled the deck 8 times already today. There's no snow left.
Yes.
It's that curse he keeps in the globe. We've got to pour that down the toilet.
That got me. All right. Thanks, everyone. You can't
Stay
fool me
cozy.
next time. So long.